season on Sister Wives.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. You just make sure people know what happened here today.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCH, country limit. I don't need a guide, follow lights, take me where I wanna visit. Are you alive? Or just breathing?
What is going on, people? If you guys can hear me, hit those ones so I know that you're in the house and I'm being heard and I'm being seen and everything is cool. I appreciate it. I see some ones popping. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, guys, we have a lot to talk about. This foolishness from this show. What is going on? Hey, people, what's up? Lizzie B in the house. I saw you early. Kathy Ferran. Everybody's in the house. I see Audrey Bringinger. What's going on? Folks, this show is crazy. Valadia, this show is crazy. Okay, my chest hurts. This show will have your blood pressure high as hell. High as hell. You go to the damn doctor the next day. Don't make any Monday morning appointments because your doctor will put your ass in the hospital. You are having a coronary event. This thing is crazy. What the shit? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I tell you what. Like, I want to I gotta get this. I can't even talk, man. This show, I thought, because I put out a video earlier today. If you guys have an opportunity and you haven't seen it, go check out my video because I did a preview, a video based on a preview. Okay. And normally, like I said in the video, normally I don't do that because TLC has a very jacked up way of presenting everything one way. Then when you see it in full context, the message and everything that happened on the show is completely different. Okay. Now, this is how TLC rolls. This is how they do shit. All right. So normally, I don't make videos like that. Like, I try to stay away from the trailers because they'll be like, oh, yeah, Cody said blah, blah, blah. And then Meri will come in and say, I love Cody and I'll do whatever he wants. And then later it'll be like, in full context, the statement will be, I love Cody and I'll do whatever he wants, is what I would say if I was a weak ass woman. But since I'm strong and independent, I'm going to do my own thing. They did a preview, and I'm going to tell you now. The preview said that Janelle was going to go to the house, sit there and talk to Meri, try to inform Meri about what's going on with Coyote Pass, and Meri is going to sit there and start defending Cody. Now, I say it to myself, I say, you know what, after the last 2 weeks, I'm doing videos talking about Meri is coming up. You know, she's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to like her. And there's a cut that I was going to put in the show, but I thought maybe I shouldn't do it because of copyright restrictions. Back in the day, there was a song called Opposites Attracts by, I'm about to say Christina Aguilera. That's not right. By the dancing queen. I forget her name. I just drew a blank. What is her name? Damn it. Whatever. It was a song called Opposites Attract. And Paul Abdul, thank you so much. I knew the chat was going to save me. And in the song, part of the verse is part of the chorus is 2 steps forward. We take 2 steps forward, we go we take 1 step forward, we go 2 steps back. That's what it is. 1 step forward, we go 2 steps back. That's how I feel like my relationship is with Meri. The second she turns a corner with me and I'm like, all right, Meri ain't so bad. She all right. She is all right. She turn around and do some shit like this. She sat there. Janelle come to her like, yo, Meri, your boy is trying to get you. He about to take your pockets, girl. He about to turn your pockets out. You gonna have rabbit ears for pockets. Homeboy is trying to get you. Meri look at him like, he would never do that to me. I expect him to be a gentleman. What makes you think he won't give me half of what I'm owed? Or everything I'm owed financially? He's going to take care of me. I watched that and I said, damn it, Meri. Now, let's be clear. I have no problems. I have zero problems with somebody being loyal. Okay. I think I hold loyalty as a huge thing. Loyalty is huge to me. Like, if you my friend and you roll with me, either you in or you out. Like, I don't really do half measures when it comes to friendships and things like that. So I get it. You know, I have no problem with people being loyal. But there is a fine line between being loyal, a loyal friend, and a flipping fool. Okay, there's a line between, you trusting somebody because they've earned your trust, and you looking at somebody, and despite what they do to you, you still sit there and pretend like everything is okay. They're on my side and it all makes sense. They're my friend. They would never hurt me. When they did that stuff and it hurt me, it was by mistake. Even though they made out like a bandit and they keep doing it. This is kind of where I am when I watch Meri. And this is, to be honest with you, this is part of the frustration of not just Meri, but I mean, realistically, it's like the OG3 as a whole. Like throughout the 19 seasons, I've been at this same space with all of them. When I watch them, especially when it comes to Cody. Like, dude, I don't know, man. This small town love is killing my ass. Because every time I look up, holy smokes. You got, oh, he would never do that. So he said, Sharon said, James, she's going to get melted down like Cody's wedding rings. Yeah, right. She gonna get burnt out. And and at some point, you gotta look at it and just say, thank you, Negla, appreciate you. Yeah, check out that video. I'm telling you, I didn't realize how on the head it was, like on the nose it was. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just put this video out because I'm hoping. And I even said in the video, see, here's what jacks me up. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go back for a second. Take a step back. 2 steps, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I said in the video, I hope this is wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that my assessment on this situation is completely incorrect. I hope I'm jumping the gun and I'm making a mistake. I hope she's not this dumb. Like, because this isn't loyalty. This shit is not loyalty. Okay? I'm a person who respects loyalty. And when I see this, I don't see somebody who's loyal. Okay? This is not loyal. Because just the way, when I grew up, she got me stuttering. When I grew up, my mom told me it's important for you to love yourself. You have to love yourself. If you don't love you, it's impossible for you to love somebody else, really love somebody else. And that also translates into respect. If you don't respect your damn self, you can't ask, command, or demand and orchestrate respect from other people. Nobody respects somebody who doesn't respect themselves. At some point, and I'm about to go off, at some point, if you're sitting there with somebody who is constantly disrespecting you and you allow that relationship to continue, then what's going to happen is that person is going to stop respecting you, even if they respected you before. And even if they try to respect everybody gets a general respect from this person. They try to treat everybody kindly. Please understand that they're not treating you kindly because they respect you as an individual. They treat you kindly because they treat everybody kindly. They don't respect you because they respect you and your opinion. They respect you because they try to respect everybody. And that's a good person. That's a good person. Somebody who is a user, a taker, if you don't put down boundaries on these fools, if you don't check them sometimes, and you don't let them know, like, look, we cool, but if you continue to treat me like this, then we can't hang out anymore. We can't be friends. If you continue to treat me like this, I can't be in a relationship where I allow you to treat me this way. Because if I keep putting you front and in the center that I have to keep diminishing myself. And I can't live with me while I'm beating me up. Sorry. And that's where it comes down. Like with me, that's where it comes down to. Like at some point, like Cody's going to look at you and be like, well, whatever. That's why he doesn't give a damn. That's why he can look you on the face. Like I mentioned that scene back in season 18 when they were sitting on the side of Coyote Pass and he looked you in the face and told you was only going to get 2 acres. And when Meri had protested and said, well, no, that's not fair because you 2 are getting 8. Janelle is getting 4 and I'm only getting 2. That's not fair. And he looked you right in the face and said, I don't give a shit. You're going to get what I give you. That's him disrespecting you. And right there, you should have flipped the hell out. Like you should have not. Okay, fine. All right, fine. That's just me. My blood pressure high. I'm sorry. I'm talking crazy. All right. You don't have to flip out. You don't have to flip no tables. You don't have to cuss. You don't have to scream. You don't have to yell. But at some point, you have to put your foot down. You have to let them know that you're not tolerating this. That you're not just going along to get along. You're not part of the get along gang. Okay? We're not doing this. No, we're not. We're not doing this. I'm not putting in the amount of money that I put in for you to turn around, look me in the face and tell me that I get less than. No. And somebody had wrote earlier, there's so much stuff I wanted to cover on this. Like, I might have to do another damn video. I might have to do another video. There, somebody had wrote, and I 100% agree with this. In the comment section, because I do read the comments, guys. They wrote in the comment section that, when they do business with family and friends, they make sure everything is in writing, even more so than they do with other people. And they said because, family and friends have a way of trying to take advantage of you. And I agree with that. But see, here's the thing with family and friends, it's not just that they try to take advantage of you or they know your weaknesses and they can slip the knife in even extra special because they know where all your soft spots are. And I agree with that. Knife in the kidneys. All the love I gave you wasted. Right? That's true. But there's also a point where people might not take those relationships as serious. And I say that I'll take it a step further. And this is something I've always said. This is what somebody said to my kids. When it comes to money, family and friends, if you are lending money to family and friends, you want to be in a situation where you can give them that money. Because nothing ruins a relationship faster than money between family and friends. And business is money. But in addition to that, if you are doing business with them, you want everything worked out before everything falls apart. In the event that things do fall apart, you want it all worked out. You want everything to be clear, crystal clear, so that way there's no misunderstanding, no confusion. People don't think they're due or owed more than what they owe. Simple as that. And when I'm watching that, like when I watch that whole conversation between Meri and Janelle, when Meri looked over at Janelle's trying to inform her, like, look, we got 2 months, a little over 2 months to figure out what we're going to do with this property. Oh, we could lose all of it? Even the ones we have paid off? Yes, because that's the agreement. Apparently, the guy came up with an agreement that it's all or nothing. So even if they paid off like individual plots, if the rest of it ain't paid off, isn't paid off. If the rest of it isn't paid off, then they lose everything. Meri looks at Janelle, and Janelle's like, so we have to pay it off. Meri looks at Janelle, and she said, well, I'm sure Cody will take care of it. We got 2 months left. If Cody was going to take care of it, he would have took care of it, Meri. There's a reason why Janelle is sitting on your couch. Y'all don't like each other. You know she came over. Like Meri said, this ain't no social visit. You know she ain't come over here to chill with you. Like she ain't your friend. It ain't Neffex and chill. She came over here to talk business. So if Janelle is concerned, there's a reason for concern. And Meri is sitting there. This shit, like I said, this shit got me worked up. Meri is so concerned with talking about, oh, Cody is on my side. Robin's my best friend. I don't really like you. And she's so set on the whole enemy thing that she doesn't see that Janelle is the only one looking out for you. Janelle said, we got to pay it off. Meri said, Cody will pay it off. Janelle said, Cody said he don't have the money. Meri said, well, I thought you were in charge of the money, that you were running the books. Meri, have you not been paying attention? Have you not been paying attention? This is part of the reason why these types of relationships freaking don't work. Because he's able to, what Cody reminds me of, he reminds me of the type of guy who'll set up a business fund. He'll put somebody else in charge of said business fund. So somebody else is responsible for that business fund. Then he adopts himself as a signatory on that account, meaning that he can write checks off of that account. Then he turns around, he writes checks off of that account, pilfers the funds, and now somebody else is responsible. Somebody else gets to hold the bag when the IRS shows up and wants to know where the money is, right? How come taxes aren't getting paid? How come money isn't showing up right? Cody gets to play I don't know why they did that. I don't know what's going on, right? Because the thing is, you can delegate authority, meaning that you can have signatories, you can have people who can draw off the account, but you can't delegate responsibility. And that's what Cody is trying to do. He's trying to put it off on Janelle. Like, I'm sure that that's a conversation that Meri and them had. Like, oh, Janelle take care of all the money and the finances. She knows all about it. Meanwhile, Cody is withdrawing money from the accounts. Like Janelle says, she's like, I'm just the accountant. She's just a tally person. She's just keeping track of where the money's going. She know the money's leaving, and she's not controlling the spending. I don't know why why Meri would think that Janelle was controlling the spending when you see, like, you got two damn eyes in your head. You've gone out to Robin's house. You've seen the house full of knickknacks, doodads, and bullshit. You see all the cars in the driveway. How in the world do you think they were getting that stuff? You thought Janelle was living in an RV for fun? And she was signing off on Cody buying all kinds of stuff? And she living in an RV in a student apartment. Oh my God. Oh my God. Then of course we get to like the whole Christine and David stuff. But man, my favorite part was we'll talk about that in a second. I got some super chats to calm this shit down. It's craziness. Katrina Morgan, what's going on? Katrina Morgan, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Meri was super frustrating this episode. Sometimes I wish I could just shake her into reality and be all like, Cody is hot garbage. Stop defending garbage. Stop defending garbage. That should be hashtag stop defending garbage. Meri, it's time to take the trash out now. Damn right. Damn right. Let me give you a little something. Brava. Stop defending garbage. Like, what are you doing? Like, and it kills me, like, because she turned right around. Meri turned right around and basically accused Janelle of trying to be underhanded with her. Like, I'm out here trying to help your ass. And then when Janelle drops a truth bomb on her, like, look, your name appears on exactly one piece of the 4 lots. And that one piece is about 1.5 acres when you divide it up. It's a little less than 1.5 acres when you divide it up. So if we sell all the properties, we sell all the plots, and we sell all the properties, then you only get 1.5 acres worth of the money out of that 14 acres. Like, it's just a crazy. Oh, but Cody would never do that. Cody would never hurt me. Yeah, Cody would never hurt you. And I'm sure you felt the same way about your marriage, that Cody would never abandon your marriage. I'm sure you felt like, Cody gave his word, and he promised that we would love each other forever and into eternity, that Cody was that kind of guy and an honorable man. Well, your honorable man has abandoned you, but you're still on his side. That's not loyalty. Sorry, people. Like, I know we got some Meri fans out there, and like, look, I tried. But Meri, that is driving me crazy. That's not loyalty. Oh, she's super loyal. That is not loyalty. If you guys disagree with me, I'm gonna put up the link. You can come on and tell me why Meri is awesome. And I might even agree with you to some points. Like, I like Meri with her friends. I think that people who are loyal to you deserve that same level of loyalty. But when people demonstrate repeatedly that they are not on your side, that they are not your friend, that they are not loyal to you, why do you keep showing loyalty to them? I am so confused. I am so confused. Next up, we got Katrina Morgan, $2 super chat. Meri's, I'm sorry you feel that way. Oh, please. Yeah, Meri did some bullshit. Pardon my friend. Meri did some bull stuff. She said, because she was like, you don't feel like Cody's going to look out for you? Janelle was like, no, I feel like I'm going to have to look out for myself. And Meri looks at him like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. What? You sorry? I feel. Look at it. What again? This is the part that burns me up. They always ran the whole storyline of I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm strong, independent woman. I've been listening to that since season 1, episode 1. We all strong, independent women. Being strong and independent is the antithesis of Cody gonna save me. That's not strong and independent. I'm sorry. Like, that's not strong and independent. Cody gonna look out for me. Cody gonna save me. I'm not worried about this land. Cody gonna take care of it. That's not you being a boss. That's not you being a boss. Shit, you ain't even a supervisor at that point. You're a straight employee. I don't know. Katrina Morgan, great point. Great point. I'm about to give you a little something. Give you a little something different. Awesome. How this work? Yeah. So, and then we have Mzadi, 49 super chat. Meri has been financially independent for a while now. Her side hustle is her main income, so she isn't as emotionally invested in the properties. I get that. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. You might not be emotionally invested, but at the same time, whether you care about something or not, and I get that, like, it's not as important to Meri as it might be to Janelle, because Meri has the bed and breakfast. Meri has like her MLM money. Janelle also has MLM money. So Janelle will be all right. Meri will be all right. But there's a principle. Okay? It's principalities up in this mother. Okay? You can't do this. What you can't do is you can't come along and look, I'm gonna be all right. It's time. I'm gonna be real. You can't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. Straight up. Like, you can't do that. Like, because if I allow you to do that to me, then what happens is, how do we respect each other moving forward? How does Cody ever respect Meri? If he can look her in the face and pick her pockets, I have stuff in my house that I don't give a shit about one way or another. But I'll be damned if somebody comes into my house and takes it without my permission. Okay? I might not even want it. I've even said before that if, use the analogy, like if I went out and I bought a pack of cookies for my kids and I brought it home and I went into the store specifically to get these cookies for my kids. I bought these cookies for my kids and then I brought them home for my kids. I put them up in the cabinet. If one of my kids come down, finds the cookies, they go up into the cabinet and they take the cookies thinking they're taking them without my permission, and they're stealing the cookies, I'm going to have a whole ass problem with that. I'm not going to sit there and be, oh, well, I didn't really care about the cookies. I got it for them. No, that's not the point. You don't get to come in and do some shady ass shit to me, and then all of a sudden you turn around and pretend like you my best friend, and we still cool after that. That's not a thing. I don't care whether Meri thinks it's cool or not, or she's not really invested emotionally or not. Like, if you let this dude and this joker get away with this, that sets a precedent moving forward. You become somebody whom he can take advantage of moving forward. Like, period. Like, that's how that works. Like, every relationship is based off of previous experience, past experiences with those people. That's where the relationship is built from. So if his past experience is to take advantage of Meri because she consistently lays down for him, then what happens when Meri tries to stand up for herself? It becomes completely unacceptable that she stand up for herself and make a position for herself. If I've been taking advantage of you for the last 30 years, and then all of a sudden you want to start developing a backbone and an opinion, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm not going to start respecting you because now all of a sudden you're going to respect me. No, I'm not. That's how the shit works. If she wants Cody and Robin, and here's the jacked up part about it. If she wants that relationship to work, those relationships to work, she has to start defending herself. Because if they continue to be able to take advantage of her, they're never going to respect her. And there's no relationship ever that works if somebody doesn't respect you while you're in the relationship. So, I mean, I agree with the idea that she doesn't. Yeah, clearly Meri's not as been oppressed about the money as, say, Janelle. Janelle wants her share. She wants her cut. But I also think that Meri thinks that Robin and Cody are on her side, that Robin and Cody still care about her. Like, we can all sit here and pretend like she's completely cool and she's fine with leaving Cody and she don't give a shit. But you can tell when they go over to Gwendolyn's party and she sees Christine for the first time, and Christine mentions that Meri finally broke up with Cody, and they're no longer together. And Meri almost broke down crying. And Christine's like, oh, it's for the best. It's good on the other side, isn't it? Meri's like, no, the other side was better. Look, when people say that she would go back to Cody if Cody would have her, this is why. I think this is why people say that. So, but yeah, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Let me give you a little something. But oh, here we go. Sassy Experience, $5 super chat. Y'all forget Meri is trying to shake 50 years of cult breeding. Even after divorce, she still has it in her to believe Cody because she was raised that way. And that's fine. She was raised that way. I wasn't. I can understand people's situation, but at the same time, we got to live by certain standards. Like, we got to call a spade a spade. We got to call it where it is so that everybody can kind of meet those standards, because that's part of the problem. The expectations and the standards that were set while she was involved with this religion and this particular community have been set. The bar has been set so low that when Meri looks at this situation, she's not looking at the situation like, oh, bump this. I gotta get on some get right. I gotta put these people on get right. I gotta make sure that everything is being taken care of. The things are being moving the right way. If you like my brother, like I said, I credit my brother with this all the time. He said when we were kids, if you lay down for somebody, nobody can walk all over you unless you lay down for them first. And that's where I'm at with Meri. They can't walk all over you unless you keep laying down for these fools. Every time you break free, you have a moment of strength and positivity for yourself. You lay it back down for them. And I understand why she's doing it, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's okay that she's doing it. I'm not going to say like, oh, yeah, it's fine that, Cody takes advantage of her, that they suck all the wealth out of her money and she lives desolate and alone and she dies in that house by herself, because that's what's going to happen. She keep messing around with Cody and Robin. She's going to die in that house alone. During COVID, if she would have slipped and fell and went down them steps, they wouldn't have found her body till the springtime. Okay? Because Cody and Robin wasn't checking on her. They were not checking on her at all. So, I mean, that's crazy to me. It's crazy. But yeah, we give you a little something. And we're going to go to Teresa Skinner, $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, Teresa. I appreciate you. Let me get a little something. Teresa Skinner in the house. I'm going to do two more. Oh, I gotta do a couple more. All right, Raspberry, $5 super chat. So when Robin wants resources from the family, it's cap in hand, and when Janelle wants resources from the family, it's screwing him over. Right. So when Janelle sticks up for herself, all of a sudden she's a problem. Christine stick up for herself, all of a sudden it's a problem. This is what I'm saying. Like, part of the reason why we all sit around and talk about how Cody and Robin are narcissists. It could it in fact be, I'm not even going to say that they're not narcissists, but in addition to that, part of the conditioning that they've accepted is the fact that they've been doing it for so long. They've been taking advantage of them for so long that it's an expectation that they should be able to take advantage of them and get what they want. It's no longer a privilege or something that Christine, Meri, or Janelle are doing for Cody. It's something to be expected for Cody, for them to do for Cody. Story time. My dad, he worked in an office building, right? And it was in Center City for part of his career. And he would go in and out of this office building. He would see this lady. She was unhoused individual. And he would, feel bad for her. He would give her all the change that he had in his pocket. Like daily, he would do that. Like, hey, here you go. Give her some money. And she was like, oh, okay. And one day she saw him. And he comes out, and before he can even reach in his pocket or whatever the case may be, when he sees her, she looks at him and say, hey, where's my money? Yeah, well, your money? What are you talking about? Your money. He said, where my money at? And that was the last time she ever received anything from my father. Like, at that point, he cut her ass off, right? And he told me that story, much like I mentioned in the story now, in context of, you can start out doing something nice for somebody and doing somebody a favor, and everything is cool in the game. But after a while of you doing that favor for them, it goes from being a favor to an expectation. And that's where Cody and Robin are. They expect Janelle, Meri to figure it out, pay off the land so that Cody and Robin can skedaddle with a good 80% of the land, damn near. They fully expect that that's what's going to happen with Meri and Janelle. They're going to figure it out. They're going to pay it off. That's why Cody's sitting there talking about, I ain't got the money. So if Cody doesn't have the money, the money is due in 2.5 months. Cody doesn't have the money. Or so he says. That means Robin doesn't have the money, which means that the only way the land gets paid off is if Janelle and Meri pay the land off. But then you look at how Cody set it up. He's walking away with 4 acres. Robin's getting 4 acres. Then in the last episode, when he asked Janelle, do you plan on building on Coyote Pass? What did he say? He said, if Janelle builds on Coyote Pass, then I'm not building on Coyote Pass. So if Cody's not building on Coyote Pass, does that mean that Cody's going to sell his 8 acres of land? You understand what I mean? So he's walking away with like a ton of money. He's walking away with a ton of money that he didn't put anything in. So yeah, and he thinks he's owed that because he's used to these women bowing down and giving him whatever he wants. We can all say like this is the part upbringing and part of the way that they grew up in the religion and the faith and all that other stuff, and they've been a part of this community. But part of it also is conditioning. Part of it also is experience with each other. This is how we get down. This is how we roll. I want something. You break your neck and figure out how to get it to me. It's that simple. Not hard to me. I don't understand why there's a problem. Like, you know what I mean? So bump that. I'm just saying. Like, I can't do it. I can't abide by it. So I'm not going to sit there and make excuses like, oh, it's okay. That's just the way. Fuck that. It's the way you were brought up. Yeah. Well, people grow through a lot of stuff in their lifetimes and, forget everybody else. Kind of what Janelle had said. I've heard this saying before. Nobody's coming. In this world, nobody's coming. There's no help coming. There's no ship coming. There's no Prince Charming on his way on his big white steed to come and save your ass. You got to save your damn self. And at some point, regardless of upbringing, background, or whatever the case may be, sometimes you got to shake that off and you got to get moving in the way you want your life to move. If you want things out of life, you want to get stuff out of life, you got to move the way you want to move so you can get the things you want to get out of life. Stop doing the shit you've been doing and expect to get something different, because if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So at some point, you got to stand up and say, you know what, the hell with this. We're not doing this. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to treat me any old kind of way you want, because it makes you feel better, so that I can say I'm in a relationship with you and I still maintain and have a relationship with you. We got to break that. We got to break that mentality. The whole idea that you have to go back and keep friends and stuff. I'm going to do a video on that too. I promise you, I'm going to do a video on that. Talk about the OG3. They don't have to be friends. They don't have to like each other. If you with somebody and you're not getting along with them, and it's not in your future to be together, just because you are always together, you've always been friends, and you've always done stuff together, that don't mean you have to do stuff tomorrow. If you've been with Cody for the last 30 years and the shit ain't work out and it was going bad, pardon me, I'm using French a lot tonight, I apologize. But if you've been with Cody for 30 years and things ain't going bad, you don't have to commit another 30 damn years to this relationship that ain't been working for the last 25. You've been in a relationship for 30 years, and the last 25 was miserable. You don't have to commit another damn second to that relationship. I don't care what your religion say. I don't care what your faith say. I don't care what your community say. I don't care what your family say or your friends say. When it's time to go and you decide it's time to go because this relationship isn't feeding your soul, your mentality, your emotions, or your life, and it's time for you to pack a bag, then you got to pack that bag and you got to make the decision for yourself. Because if you wait around for everybody to agree with your decisions, then you might be waiting forever. And where Meri is, you have been unhappy for a long time. We can't be, oh, well, I understand why she cheated on him with the catfish, but at the same time, she had every right to do it. Because, he abandoned her and he wasn't treating her well. Well, he abandoned you and he's not treating you well. Forget the catfish, forget cheating or stepping out or trying to find love somewhere else while you're staying in this relationship. Leave the relationship and go find somebody who is going to give you what you need. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, Meri just ran me raw today. All right, so I'm gonna give Raspberry a little something. Raspberry, Meri ran me into the ground. Brittany, not Brittany, 499 super chat. Meri's been caping for Cody for 30 plus years. This is true. This is what the cloak of charity. And what has that even gotten? Okay, let me restart that. Meri's been caping for Cody for 30 plus years. And what has that even gotten her? Twice divorced. And then the new chick living in the house she paid for. Right. Like, you are losing all the way around. I mean, fine, she's doing good financially, but emotionally, she's a wreck. Because she still wants to be in a relationship. What is it? Comparison is the destroyer of all relationships or whatever. Stop comparing your relationship. Your relationship is nothing like Robin's. Meri's relationship is nothing like Robin's. Her relationship is polar opposite to Robin's. So you guys are not in similar or same situations. We are married to the same man. No, you're not. You're married to two different dudes. Robin is married to her husband. You're infatuated with Robin's husband. There's a difference. Meri is like the friend who you have, like when you have like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a husband or a wife, and your friend comes over and, oh, they wish they had somebody like them. They great. You got to watch their asses. Because they the one, if you ever slip, trip, or fall down some steps, they're going to be the one at the funeral hugged up and bugged up with your significant other talking about, come over my house. You can put your head and you can lay your head in my lap. You understand what I mean? So you got to watch them. But when you have somebody who's that fascinated with your people, we are not in a relationship. Both of us are not in a relationship with Cody. That's the way Robin sees it. They're not both in a relationship with Cody. Robin's in a relationship with Cody. Meri is the third wheel. She's a chick that's just around. And I know she was there first and she was actually married to him first. Yeah, that's true. In name and in title. She was married to him first. But Robin is his wife. Let's be real about it. Robin is his wife. All right, but let me give Brittany, not Brittany, something. Yeah, speaking of Brittany, not Brittany, make sure hit me up, Brittany, on send me an email. I want to talk to you about something. Neglet 3, $2 super chat. M&M's was the perfect analogy. Thank you so much. Some parents, if you're a parent, you know. Watch the video, get it. Like I talk about, like how you use up yours so that you can get use up the other person so you can get yours. But okay, let me give a sassy experience a little something. Oh wait, before I go, Negla, let me give you a little something. Apologize, my apologies. All right, go to sassy experience. $5 super chat. See, I disagree with Christine because she did the same thing to Janelle, trying to bring them to where she is, but not realizing is was still new to them. I can see that, but when we start talking about money and we start talking about business, money and business don't have room for your emotions. They don't have. There's no time, especially when you're on a deadline of that 2.5 months before Coyote Pass. You lose your investment in Coyote Pass, and I said something during my video, which I'll bring up here. If you're on that 2.5 month timeline, it doesn't. They don't have time for Meri to work through her feelings. If she's going to do something to try to save Coyote Pass, to save her investment, her monetary investment, then she got to get up off the. She got to get up off the stool, right? You cry in the car. That's that's what I say. Cry in the car, right? You get to argue with somebody. You know, you go to work and somebody say something crazy to you. You got a rough balls. You don't show them your tears. You don't give them your tears. You suck it up and you get outside and you cry in the car. Okay, you cry in the car, and I think that's where Meri has to be. Like Meri has to look at it like, bump this. What's not going to happen is I'm not going to let you. Even though you took advantage of me emotionally, they've been married for 30 years. She's been going through it for the last 15 of those 30 for sure. When Robin came into the family, she's been going through it. So what's not going to happen is we're not going to keep going around and around like that. So like I agree. But Christine is is very excited about being single, and everybody's experienced, and I can agree with that. Like I think there's a point where things are working out well for her, and she's taking her positive experience and trying to transpose it into everybody else's experience. Like everybody should love divorce the same way I do. The reality of it is, even in the polygamous families, most polygamous families, they don't have 5 houses with each wife having their own house. So if they decide to leave, they get to walk away with a house and house money. In most polygamous situations, they're like everybody else. They're struggling like a son bitch, trying to make ends meet. The ends don't meet. The money don't go far enough. So when somebody leave, they basically leave with the shirt on their back, and kids are possibly dependents. So it's divorce isn't, even though she highly recommends it, Christine highly recommends it, it's not as easy for everybody as she's making it out to be. Like it's very difficult. Like I agree with that. So Sassy Experience and I are on the same page as far as that's concerned. Let me give you a little something sassy. Sassy. Got to slide. But yeah, so we get one more super sticker, and I'll get back to the super chats in a little bit. Wallace Shotwell, 499 super sticker. Thank you so much, Robin. We'll get a little something for that. We get to a point too where okay. When you're gaslighting for so long, it's damaging to your thought process. I agree with that. But we got it. Sometimes, like, because here's the thing, and this is part of the power, the respect I have for the power of the microphone. All right. I know that, like, especially off of some interviews that I've seen, I know that they see the YouTubers, and I know that they see a lot of the commentaries, whether it's on Reddit, Facebook, X, whatever the case may be. I know they see a lot of that stuff because they mention it. And I think that as somebody in the community, my opinion isn't as important as anybody else's. But as somebody in the community of this sister wife fandom, I feel like I have to say something if I disagree with something. If I see something, I'm gonna say something. Because, and I'm saying it in hopes that they hear what I'm saying. You don't have to be treated like this. I understand that you were brought up this way. I understand that Meri's mom had encouraged her to stay in a relationship that was failing. When she, from my understanding, when Meri would go back and she would complain to her mom that the relationship wasn't working out and things weren't going good, and she was frustrated with Cody, Meri's mom would say, go back to your husband. You got to work it out with him because you have to stay with that marriage. And she committed her being in that marriage. And so part of that, I could even say, is not just the upbringing, but she sees staying in that marriage as a commitment that she made not only to Cody, but to her mom. And she cared deeply for her mom. And I understand that. But at the same time, I got to keep it all the way 100. You know, I want Meri to be happy. I don't see, there's a difference. There's a subtle difference. I don't want people to feel like they have to be married. Like, I don't want you to be married. I want you to be happy. Now, if you find your happiness in marriage, you find your happiness in being partnered with somebody, then that's awesome. But you don't have to do those things in order for you to be happy. Janelle seems happy and she's by herself. She's not out looking for dudes, scoping the internet or trolling bars. She's out there, she's spending time with her kids, spending time with her grandkids. These are the things that make her happy. She's building a business. She's doing all the stuff she always wanted to do for herself. And she's happy. Christine, she went out and found a guy, raced through a relationship, now they married. She's happy. Okay. So happiness can look differently for different people. And if, if Meri's, if I thought Meri was happy trolling around behind Cody, picking up for him and taking up his slack and paying his bills and, going to get his laundry. If I thought she was happy doing that, I probably wouldn't even say nothing about it. I probably would say something about it, but because I'm just that way. But I wouldn't have anything, like, I wouldn't feel as strongly about it. If that's what she was, that's what she was. Shame on her. It is what it is. But the way things go, nah, man. I just can't. It's hard. I can't support it. Can't support it. 1 second. Let me just check. Let me Katrina Morgan, $5 super chat. Oh my gosh. And just think about what message Meri is sending to Leon about self-respect. Sounds like Meri is the one who truly needs to worthy up. Yeah, I know, right? This is not a good look for the brand. I tell you that. Good point. It's not a good look for the brand. You got to worthy up. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a transformative brand. So as she undergoes, which I can see, as you undergo certain things, trials, tribulations, or whatever, you get to a point where you just like, you know what? I deserve better. And so you worthy up or whatever. So from that respect, you got to put yourself out there, like your losses, so that you can show how you turn it around. I think that's maybe where her business model is coming from, but yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, sometimes, and that's another thing. Like, I also agree with that sentiment that you have to be, it's important for you sometimes to take a stand, not just for you, but you have to take a stand because you have to set an example for your kids. Your kids have to see that this is not the way we conduct relationships. I'm not going to just sit here and be miserable because my kids are used to me always being with their mom. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and be upset or troll or constantly be taken advantage of because this is a situation. I grew up in a household where my parents were married and, my mom passed, they were still married. So You know, oh, well, this is just how my culture is. This is how my community was when I grew up. All my friends and stuff, they parents were together. Like, okay, but I have to make sure that I'm happy. And as I've always said, when it comes to relationships or any type of commitment, it's a daily choice. It's a daily choice. It's not, oh, you know, so many X amount of years ago, we stood in front of a priest, a pastor, or court judge or some kind of officiant, and they said that you're married, and I promised then that I would always be this person. No, every day we're together, I make a constant decision, and I have a constant choice of whether today is the last day or the next day, and that's what it is, you know. And that also keeps you from getting taking people for granted. That keeps you from being taken advantage of. Because if it's constantly a decision that you're making and it's constantly a choice that you're making, then it's not about them taking advantage of you and you sitting around because we had 20 years together. If we had 20 years together and it was great, and then I find out something that, you know, is adverse to that, and I realize I can't have another day with you, then that's it. You know, kind of is what it is. But good point, Katrina Morgan. Let me give you a little something. Katrina Morgan in the house. GG, what's going on, GG? Okay. $5 super chat. Meri was supposing that everyone lives their life having to rob Peter to pay Paul. No, they don't, Meri. No, they don't. Good point. Good point. Not everybody is backsliding. You know what I mean? Not everybody on struggle bus. This is true. This is true. And there's also a point where just because this is something that we've always done, you guys are not in the same financial situation you were in when you first got married. And again, this is why I say, like, you got to recognize where you are and not where you were. Okay? Because when you look at it, you guys started out, your relationship was straight struggling. You were poor, living in a trailer, 4 people deep, trying to make ends meet. You know, then all of a sudden you start popping kids left and right? Popping kids like potato chips. Once you pop, you can't stop, and that was it. You know, can't have just one. All of a sudden, just kid on kid on kid on kid. You know, craziness. So yeah, there was a time you were struggling, but now is not that time. You guys are not hurting for money, and the reason why you're in the financial situation that you find yourself in, as far as the storyline is concerned, especially with Coyote Pass, is it because of the misappropriation of funds. If you have $1 million, but you spend $1 million, you are just as poor as somebody who doesn't have any money. Because guess what? Neither of you have any money. So you know, the whole Peter Paul thing that worked when you guys were struggling, doesn't hold up really right now. So let me give GG, big GG, or something. Yeah, GG. Okay. Just read off 2 more, and then we'll get into the encounter at Gwendolyn's reception. Brittany, not Brittany, 499 super chat. Meri should have left the moment he said they could move. Wait, Meri should have left the moment he said they could have more kids naturally, knowing full well they weren't even hunching for that even to be an option. This is the whole thing. Brittany's right. When they were out there on that date night, and Robin made the proposition that they could have a baby, and Robin would carry the baby for Meri. And she said, "It would be my pleasure as your sister wife to carry your child." And Meri was ready to tell Kody, "I'm gonna take Robin up on her good stuff." And Kody was like, "No, I don't want to be tied to you that way." Well, I mean, we can have babies naturally. At that time, Kody and Meri weren't even sleeping together. So the only way they were going to have a child is if they did something that was only recorded once in history through the Immaculate Conception. That's the only way they was going to have a baby. So basically Cody was telling Meri, anything short of a miracle, I'm not having another child with you. Like, it would have to be that crazy. Like, I'm not sleeping with you at all. I don't even think he was staying at Meri's house. So there's no way that she was getting pregnant. So yeah, I agree with Brittany not pregnant. There's no way she's getting pregnant. Tiger Smith, hey, what's going on? $5 super chat. I want Janelle and Christine to go to get releases. It's okay if they don't believe in AUB. I want to see the stream come out of Cody's ears. Steam come out of Cody's ears. Yeah, you're right. Cody will lose his whole damn mind. If they go and get some releases, that's part of the reason why I want to do it. Secret quiet is kept. That's why I want them to do it. I don't really, I'm not a real AUB person either, but I know we'll burn Cody's ass up. And I think it'll be funny. So let me give you a little something. Yeah. But let me say, gotta get through my Jody Jones. What did Lizzie B say? Raspberry doesn't want these women to win, only to lose. If he cared a smidge about them, money wouldn't be an issue because they are the mother of his children. Yeah. And that's, base reason why he should want to take care of them. These are the mother of his kids. He's actually helping to take care of his kids and provide for his kids. Even in effect of, like, they talk about estates, like a conversation that apparently only popped up when Meri or Robin came into the family. But when they talk about estates, what will these kids have from the Brown side of their family if Cody screws them over? Like, from the mothers, very well, doing well financially. Like, we talked about how Meri has her bed and breakfast and she has like the MLMs and she's started her own business. So Leon will inherit from that, from Meri. But what is she going to inherit from Cody? What's Christine's kids going to inherit from Cody? Nothing. Okay. What is Janelle's kids going to inherit from Cody? Nothing. Now, all three of those women might go out and make their own way, but the father isn't giving them anything, giving the kids anything. So, I don't know. Just in my opinion, as a father, you shouldn't be around long enough to make sure that the kid gets your last name, and then all of a sudden you take off. Your responsibilities are deeper than that. So, but Jenny P, Doc James, LOL. I know, right? I do feel kind of dark tonight watching this craziness. It's just frustrating to me. Like, it just frustrates me because, like I said, watching people get taken advantage of. Like, I've never been one to stomach bullies. Like, it just does something to me. It just bothers me. Like, when I encounter somebody who is taking advantage of somebody, either way, like if it was one of the ladies taking advantage, like, hell, I come down on Robin all the time. I just don't like it. Like, I can't stomach a bully. I can't. It's just everybody has a thing. That's one of my things. I can't do bullies. And to me, between Cody is bullying them financially. So I just don't like it. But let me just real quick, and then we'll get into I'll open up the phone lines so folks can call in and say their piece, because I've been kind of going for an hour now. But look, when it comes down to it, I'm gonna be real. When Gwendolyn had the party over the house, it was a great opportunity for David to meet Cody. I will say this. When Christine found out Cody was coming over, she was upset because all of a sudden the whole day was going to be centered around Cody and Robin. And I agree with that, as it not being the right time, at Gwendolyn's party. But at the same time, we can't ignore the fact that, because I watched it with my wife and she made this point, that Christine, prior to it, you finding out that Cody was coming over, you had already started to make the whole thing about you and David's relationship. So it wasn't about Gwendolyn's uh nuptials. It was about you introducing your boyfriend, because that's the most important thing in your life. And that only bothers me. I think it bothers me as much as it does because it just seems like so much of their lives has been centered around Cody and making him happy and what he wants. And so it's always like the way they conducted their relationship, it was always about pleasuring and pleasing a man. Okay. And the way it's kind of coming off now with watching Christine and David, even though they seem like they're about each other, granted, it does seem like there's still that remaining mindset that it's all about the man. It's all about making him happy. It's all about us being together. It's all about us and our love. And everything else takes a back seat. In this particular instance, I think it would have been great if Cody and Robin and David could have met each other outside of Gwendolyn's special day. In fact, this is part of the reason why Gwendolyn won't film with TLC now, is because of what happened during the course of the day, because they did make so much of the day about Cody meeting Robin and Cody and Robin meeting David and Christine's boyfriend, Christine's boyfriend. That's part of the reason why Gwendolyn doesn't mess with TLC now. But, overall, so I feel bad for Gwendolyn in that respect, because their whole party was basically about Cody meeting David and what's going to happen between these two when they, the worlds collide or whatever. The thing with that, though, just as a dad and as a parent, if I wasn't with my kid's mom and she started dating somebody else, I wouldn't wait around for there to be a special event for me to go out and shake this dude's hand. Real talk. Right? I wouldn't need a special occasion. The next time I pick Truly's ass up, I would be over at the crib where David at. Hey, come on down, young fella. I want to talk to you. If I have to go up to the room and get his ass, I'll do that too. Hey, you mind if I talk to you? Come on down, man. Let me talk to you for a minute. Let me holler at you. Hey, how you doing? James, Truly's dad. How you think? Cody, Truly's dad. You just want to look at, as a father, I would just want to look a dude ass in the eye, because, you got to let him know, like, you break my baby heart, dude, these will be the last eyes you see on this earth. You hurt my baby. You ain't got to worry about her. Don't worry about her. Don't worry. As my boy, you say, don't worry. Don't worry about the police. So you just want to look a dude in the eye. You want to look him in the eye. Well, especially, Christine apparently has this dude sleeping over at the house. She had, I'm calling him the dude because at this time they weren't married. But she had David's ass sleeping at the house with your child in the next room. Yeah, that we need to meet. If you stand over at his house and he's staying over at your house, especially if my daughter is going over to his house too, I need to meet this dude. 100%. I need to meet this dude. We have to have a talk, me and him, just so we can establish ourselves. And it's not even like I'm not even saying like straight up I'm threatening people and all that. Like, it's a funny thing to say. I think it's funny. Some people are like, James, you're ridiculous. You're too old for that shit. Maybe I am, but some of it is there. Like, some of it is there. Like, I want you to know who I am. I want you to feel my presence. I want you to understand that I'm serious. I'm deadly serious when it comes to my kids. I'm deadly serious when it comes to my kids. So, like, all jokes aside, I'm not playing around with you. Like, okay. So, Y'all relationship is y'all relationship. You do what you got to do. It is what it is. You know, we were together at one point. We're not together now. So that is none of my business. But when it comes to this one right here, oh, this is all my business. This is all me all day. So we're clear on that. And it's not even a thing, like I say, you just establishing those boundaries. You just establishing those standards. You know, I want to be included in anything that's going on. We gonna have to get along because I'm not missing shit because you showing up. I'm not missing graduations. I'm not missing activities. I'm not missing, you know, things that they participate in. I'm not missing school presentations. If I got to show up, they not doing well in school. There's parent teacher conferences. I'm coming. So whatever we need to do for you to be okay with me showing up, then we need to do that. Okay. You know, but like I said, though, I mean, you gotta within parameters, like you just can't be popping up at, like I wouldn't be popping up at Christine's house either. Like, you know, hey, I'm in town, bring Truly by. No, she got to set standards. Kody has to set standards. That's just the thing. So I think that the fact that she had been dating David for so long and David, they had been going so fast, as much as Aspen and Isabel and the rest of the kids are concerned about David being around as much as he is, and as fast as they're moving, as Truly's dad, I would want to be around too, because whether, you know, sometimes love is blind. I'm glad it worked out for Christine. I'm glad she picked good and they seem to be happy, but sometimes love is blind. Okay. Like you might have a blind spot. Maybe I see some things that you don't see. Maybe I pick up on something like, oh, okay, I come over and this dude got short eyes. And for those who know, you know. You know, if he got short eyes, then, you know, I'm, you know, as a person who don't care about him and I'm not vested in this relationship at all, I might pick up on that. And I don't care if you date him or not, but what he's not going to do is be under the same roof with my child. You know, and you could start that conversation, but you also got to be reasonable. Kody will say it. I'll say it because I think there's a problem. Kody might say it because he just want to ruin Christine's life. You know what I mean? So it kind of goes by history too. But yeah, when Kody came in, he said something that kind of drove me crazy. And I'm gonna open up this thing. I gotta get the invite. There we go. Kody said something I thought was crazy. He said, and yeah, I'm there with my pretty wife, you know, like cut. There with my pretty wife. And you know, she's shy, but she's pretty. It has like a cut on everybody else, all his other wives. My shy, pretty wife, as opposed to what? As opposed to what? What are you trying to say? Go just come out and say that you don't think the other women are pretty. Which again goes back to the whole thing of she was your preference. It is what it is. Okay, fine, cool. But Kody then says something to the effect of, yeah, he seemed like he was interested in Robin. And he looked Robin in the eye more than he looked me in the eye, like trying to say that dude was attracted to Robin. I gotta get that. I have to get that that sound bite where Garrison said to Logan, "Settle down, Johnny Appleseed." That would have gone perfect right there. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, Dave Woolley is trying to holler at Robin. Stop it. It's just that Robin was talking about shit David was interested in. Kody just want to talk. He just want to say shit. He just want to say stuff to be saying stuff. You know, we got a lot of snow up around the house, and I will put it. And Robin is talking about kids and family, and that seems to be what David is interested in. So that's why he was talking to her, probably more than he was talking to Kody, because Kody had nothing to say. And he also, David Woolley also mentioned that Kody was upset because McKelty had mentioned that he had the kids. Oh, have you held my grandbabies yet? And McKelty come over, salt and wound. Oh, he's not only held them, he's watched them by himself. Something that I'm sure Kody had not done. Kody getting mad. And then somebody mentioned like when Kody had said something to the effect of, well, how long have you guys been dating? Right. And I picked up on that. because there was a little bit of confusion in the crib as to why Cody would say that. And I said, "Oh, Cody said that because Cody wants to establish when your ex asks your current, how long have you been dating? What they're really asking is, were you dating when we were together? Is there any overlap there?" So in Cody's mind, to flesh it all out, and then I'll open up the lines. Let me go through the super chats first, then I'll open up the lines. But to flesh it all out, when Cody said, "How long have you been dating and how long you've been together?" What he's really asking is, were you messing around with Christine, and that's why she developed the cojones to actually pack a bag and leave me? Are you the reason why she left? Because clearly Christine isn't smart enough or strong enough to leave me by herself. So it must have been you. And I think that that's like the undercover accusation that Cody was leveraging. Now, I just think Christine just got tired of your shit and she decided she was done with it and she packed a bag and she left. And then she just happened to meet David afterwards. Like, I think that's my feeling. Like, and I have pretty strong feelings about it because I'm not open to the fact that they might be dishonest. I've said that Robin and Cody's relationship sounds little hokey. Like, their storyline is they try to present it on the show in season 1, episode 1, where they just happened to meet at a dance and Meri had fallen in love with Robin and she pushed Robin and Cody didn't really want to date her because she had kids and he thought it was disgusting. I didn't buy none of that shit. Mr. Oh, my wife is so pretty. I'm dating a diesel Jean model. This ain't the first time Cody's talked about his infatuation with how Robin looks. So there's no reason why I would think that all of a sudden Cody just figured out that he's attracted to Robin. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So I think that was what it is. But I do find it interesting that they sat there and had that whole conversation. But yeah, I like it, just that whole situation tickles me. I'm going to do a video on that, so I'll talk more about it during the video. But yeah. Tanya Smith with the $5 super chat. I want Janelle and Christine to get releases. Oh, okay, we already read that. If they don't believe in AUB, I want to see the steam coming out of Cody's ears. Yes. So nice, I had to read it twice. Katrina Morgan, $2 super chat. I wonder where Garrison was if he went. Yeah, I think Garrison was there, but out of respect for him, I think they excluded him from a lot of the show. Like, there was a couple scenes, like previously, a couple episodes, where I think Garrison was present. You could see like his reflection or whatever, and you just didn't see his parts. Probably because, Garrison had some spicy things that he was saying about Cody. And so I think that they excluded, excluded some of the things he was saying because it just looks bad for Cody if they weren't getting along and, he came out and said something rough. And then what happened. So, because TLC is running a little cover for Cody on that front as far as Garrison is concerned. But yeah, let me give you a little something, Katrina. All right, guys, I'm going to open up the phone lines. In fairness, we're going to, I'm going to have to drop it down 2 minutes. Just because I want to try to get as many people as possible. I am not feeling well tonight, so I want to make sure I can get as many people as I can before I have to hop off and do some things. Let me click this. So we're gonna have 2-minute table topics. Awesome. All right. So there's the phone line, and I'm gonna drop it up. We'll drop the link. Bow. The link is in the chat. We'll pop it up to the top. All right, and the link is there. So if you guys want to come on up, you can say your piece. Speak your speech. I ain't gonna be mad at you. Yeah, but I do appreciate that. Oh, okay, yeah. I think Brittany is not right. Brittany said, I anticipate a special Garrison episode where they have all of this interviews for this season. That the way the family only has to deal with that once instead every week. Yeah, I agree. I think that makes the most sense. Like it'll be a special. You know what I mean? And hopefully they can do it in a respectful manner. So I agree with that. All right, Negla 3 in the house. What's going on, Negla?
Hey, my reality TV brother. Anyway, you know what? I did send a super chat. I don't think you read it, and if you did, I was getting Taco Bell at the time. But the analogy that you gave in your earlier, it was you just dropped the video, but about the M&Ms, you know, where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna eat up all your peanuts, and then you know, I'm gonna have my whole bag of no peanut M&Ms. I love that because that's literally what, you know, Robert and Lord Fauntleroy do, and it's perfect. But okay, and I know, you know, Meri is kind of my favorite, and I think I've figured out sort of the reason why she's my favorite, because so from 2000 to 2001, I was in a physically, mentally, you know, otherwise abusive relationship.
Okay.
And thank God it was before I had children, because if I had children, I probably would have behaved differently or what have you. But I was only in that relationship for 1 year, and I knew how hard it was for me to leave. And I see pieces of me in these women and the ways that they left him, or even with Robert. I still see pieces of me, and I understand, like, it's kind of like you can't tell a drug addict to how to quit drugs unless you've ever been on them. You get what I'm saying? And you also can't tell them unless they're ready.
Right.
And so that's where each of these women are in their journey. And so that's kind of why I do give Meri grace. I know she was frustrating, because it's like, I'm looking at you and you got 2 black eyes and a busted rib, and you still won't leave. You want to go back to the man? Really? You know what I mean? But yeah, I kind of see her point of view. I'm not saying she's right, but I understand her point of view. And that's kind of like where you, like with all of your kids, you have to meet them where they are. And so that's the only reason why I'm giving Meri grace. And even with Janelle, I give Janelle grace because she was just now getting over the loss of her husband, because it was Meri, then Janelle. So those two have been with him the longest. And you can't just poo-poo away 30 years. You know what I mean? And it was a double whammy for Meri. So I'm not raining on your parade, or, you know, this is my take, and that's why I appreciate this forum.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, but it's just my take for giving Meri and Janelle some grace. And Janelle is like, you know what? Janelle, she's the, you know, she's the logical person. Meri, even though it appears she doesn't have feelings, she really does have feelings, and she does care. But she's not able to express it. She doesn't understand how to express it. I promise you, these people remind me of my parents, my mother and father. Look, I'm not polygamy or whatever, but you know, I mean, I have one mother and one father, but they remind me of different aspects of, you know, my parents. When my parents divorced, my mother and dad, my dad used to come home from the military in his nice uniform and all this, that, and the other, and then they would disappear in the room, but they were divorced, and I was confused. You feel me? You know what I mean? I didn't know what they were doing. So, you know, I understand. I just wanted to just put that out there. I do understand where there's confusion. And if you have a man that's still leading you on to believe that, even though he may say to the TV, no, I don't want her, no, she's ugly, she's whatever, this, that, and the other. No, but in your brain at night at 2:00 in the morning, he's calling you like, what you doing? You know? Right. And that's what Lord Fauntleroy has been known to do. He'll gaslight you in a minute. So,
well, I don't think that it's not a matter of him because I do accept the fact that he will love Bomber to get what he wants. Like I think that
Yes.
that's clear and that's established. The only thing that burns me up, and this is the part that's hard to deal with people, like even as you mentioned, when you're dealing with somebody who's in a relationship and it's not working out, or especially if it's not even so much it's not working out, it's a detriment to that person. Like her relationship with Cody is detrimental and damaging.
Yes.
Like, because the longer she stays in this relationship, and Meri and I don't know each other. Like, to be very clear, we are not friends. Like, Meri's not calling me up. But but I can see that this relationship is tearing her ass to pieces.
Yes.
Like
it's toxic.
She's being ripped apart. Right. It's a toxic relationship. And because of that, that's why I take the position that I take. It's not even so much that I'm not mad at Meri for, I didn't like the way she came at Janelle, but I'm not mad at Meri for feeling the way she feels, because in any other situation, and this is the thing, with Christine, Meri, Janelle, even Robin to a point, in any other situation with any other partner, a partner who is investing in you the same way you're investing with them, this would be completely acceptable. Not only acceptable, this would actually be something you should look for in a partner who's loyal to a fault, a partner who's got your back to a fault. No, you know what I mean? No matter what you do, no matter how bad you get knocked down, they're right there to help pick you up. That's what you want in a partner. You know what I mean? But it's just that what frustrates me is that Meri is wasting all that good energy on somebody who just isn't freaking worth it.
James, I am 1,000% with you. We can see that looking outside of the glass house. Does that make sense?
No. I'm not in it. I'm not in it. I agree. I'm not in it.
So we can see that, but that's the only reason why I'm giving her grace. But like legit, I'm telling you, my grace is like the inches are getting shorter. Okay, she had a yardstick in the beginning, and I'm like, okay, look, it's notching down, baby. It's notching down, and it used to be millimeter by millimeter, but it's now inch by inch. And there comes a point when you stop. The Bible says, like, casting your pearls to swine. I'm on, you know what I mean? It's not that I'm not going to defend her, and I don't have to defend her. She's a grown woman. She can defend herself, but I'm not going to keep just putting that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you'll still get the positive energy, but I'm not going to keep putting that out there for you positively, because it's irritating. It is irritating. And I get where you are and I see where you are, but there did come a point when I was in that relationship from 2000 to 2001. Like, there was a point where people stopped calling me, because every time they called me and they were trying to tell me, Negla, I saw your bruises. Negla, why was it that this happened or that happened or whatever? When they called me and, asked me these questions, I defend him. Balls to the wall. And there came a point where she's not going to listen until she's ready to listen.
No, I agree with that. I agree.
And that's the same. Yeah. And that's the same thing with people who, are, struggling with, substances and things like that. They're not going to listen until it, like, legit. Literally, I had to fall flat and break my nose. I mean, I didn't break my nose, but you know what I mean? That man had hit. Anyway, it was a very bad relationship. And it took me that long, but that was only 1 year. Can you imagine 30 years? And I'm not saying that, I'm in no way insinuating that Cody was physically, abusive towards them or anything like that. And I don't think he was. I think it was more of the emotional abuse. And sometimes emotional can be, it just hit me. You know how your mom cuss you out? Just hit mommy, just spank me, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just hit them. I got you. I got you. Well, no, I agree. I think that, but at the same time, the last thing I would say on that is, I understand that while you're in the situation, you're going through the throes of emotions that you're going through, and that you won't leave that situation until you're ready to leave it. I 100% agree with that. But at the same time, as somebody who is outside that relationship, it's up to us to not normalize that, ever normalize that for that person. Yes, I'm not going to ever look you in the face and say it's okay that your man come home and punch you in the face.
Yep.
You understand what I mean? I'm going to stand on the fact that he should keep his damn hands to himself. You should keep your hands to yourself. He keep his hands to himself, and we could talk it out. If it gets to the point where you feel like you got to put your hands on somebody, you go outside, put your hands on yourself. Yeah,
Exactly. And you know what? And
yeah.
you're right. And she has those people, she does have those people around her, but
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not
absolutely.
telling her. They're not, you know what I mean? It's like, even if they tell her that, she's not hearing it.
Yeah, she might not. I
And
mean,
and
she might not be
TLC
ready.
might not be showing it.
Yeah,
That's the other thing.
she just might not be ready to hear it. Because I know, like, I have a feeling like Jen and her other partners are telling her, like her other buddies or whatever,
Mhm.
are
They
telling
don't
her
like him.
like, dude ain't nothing, da 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 da. You need to be out of this relationship. But she's just not ready to hear it. And you're not gonna pick it up until you're ready to bend over and pick it up. So it doesn't
James,
matter what I put down. So I get
James,
that.
I promise you I'm gonna let you go. But remember when they was all sitting on the couch? Even Cody, that's supposed to be his best friend, right?
Mhm.
He was looking at him like, I can't say N-word, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he was looking at him sideways. Do you hear me? Like, what are you talking about? What? Do what now? He was looking at him like, bruh, I can't rock with you if you want.
Yeah, we can't do this on TV.
And this is my wife's sister. You feel me? Exactly. This is my wife's sister, and you know what I mean? I love her too. You know,
Right.
what, bruh, what? So, I'm sorry. Anyway,
No, that's cool. But thank you so much for calling in. I got to roll out.
thank you, dear.
Appreciate
Take it easy. Have a blessed week, and I
You
look
too.
forward to your lives. And see you tomorrow night at 7 with Sarah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All righty.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks again. Awesome, Negla. All right, next up we got Betty. What's going on, Betty? How you doing?
How you doing?
Doing well. You got got a little color ripping in the background.
Girl, yes. You know, I had them hot flashes. They got the heat going, and I can't take it.
That's all right.
Look, Meri drives me nuts. I was going for her, and then she put her ass, like, I don't know what she expects. You put your head in the sand, ass in the air, you're going to get goosed.
Right.
And she don't have enough chapstick for all the ass she's kissing. Hey, hush. Sorry.
That's all right.
Get your ass out of there. Private property. You want to get shot? Roll on. Sorry.
That's all right. Got the thugs out.
Well, I can be plugged too.
I heard
I might be old, but I got a baseball bat and a gun. Go. I'm so sorry, y'all. I apologize. Oh, my Lord, I am so sorry. Please, James, please forgive me. I apologize. I am so sorry. Hey, they're gone. Hush. Lord, it just turned into a circus, didn't it? I am so sorry, sweetheart. I am so sorry. Hurley Jean, they're gone. Get over here. Hush. But, I mean, like, if you put your head in the sand and you're willfully ignorant of things going on, come on, what do you expect?
Right.
Like with Meri, and not just that, but they're setting, I mean, people forget that they're young men in that house. They're teaching their young men how to treat a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I got lucky. My husband, I've been married almost 40 years, and he had 4 older sisters that whipped him in line quick.
Right.
So I've always, hush, I am so sorry. My life has just turned into a circus. But
the whole time it was quiet while you were waiting. I bet.
Yeah, it was quiet while I was waiting, and then I got some dumbass that wants to come up. Y'all in the house now. Get on, get. I am so sorry. I apologize again. I'm so sorry. I apologize profusely for that.
No problem.
Like I would say, like my boys, they know how to cook. I taught them each how to cook and how to be independent.
Right.
And none of them expect their wives or girlfriends to do. They know how to lift that toilet seat up and clean it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. But
that's the whole thing. See these women, though. There are millions of women watching. Some in abusive situations that are like, how do I get out of it? They have such a platform that they could use to so much good.
Right.
And to sit there and say,
and that's kind of the thing too, is that they do have a platform that they've been using to propagate their businesses, the MLMs and all that. But I think that there's a deeper responsibility. Like I talk about the power of the microphone. Like they have a much bigger voice than most of us YouTubers or whatever. And you're setting an example. So it's not, when you started doing the show, you have an opportunity to show people, at least give them a different way of doing things. I think that's kind of baked into the cake as well. So I agree with you.
You got to put some spice in there, but I mean, to sit there and say, he's gonna do right when you've seen proof positive that it's not.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, and with Negla, if you had good certain people that come show up with a baseball bat, trust me.
Straighten it
Like,
out, please.
I mean, that's what I always teach my kids: that you show up, come hell or high water.
Mm.
And if that means we roll up with bats and stuff, then that's what we do.
Right.
Let somebody put a hand on my child and see what happens. You're not gonna like it. But sorry, I went off center there. But I'm sorry, I'm still just mad about the guy trying to get into my neighbor's property.
Oh. Yeah, that's not good luck.
Oh no, we watch out for each other.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't mean to keep you, but I do hope you feel better, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know what it is. I think it just came on me.
Well, girl, make you a good hot toddy. You need that shot of whiskey, shot of lemon, a shot of tea.
I know.
Mix that sucker up and you'll sweat it out, whatever the hell it is.
Well, or you won't care.
No, you don't care. I'll be like, hey. Nah, hot toddies, oh my gosh, that's the best thing for you. Better than anything you get in the pharmacy. Trust me.
I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
You do like a teaspoon, not a lot. It's 1 teaspoon whiskey, 1 teaspoon honey, and a squeeze of lemon. You can mix it up and make it like a syrup, or you can put it like I do in a hot tea. You would be amazed at how much better you feel the next day. Now, that don't mean you're not going to sweat, because you're going to sweat.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong
Unless
with
you're like me, I'm old. I have hot flashes. I sweat all the time anyway. But you have a wonderful evening, sweetheart. I hope you feel better. Prayers, and I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow.
All right. Love the background,
love
too.
you, sweetie.
You take it easy.
Oh, well, thank you, sweetheart. Like it's hot, and they got the heat on, and I can't take it.
I heard that. Sometimes you got to step out.
Well, I step out a lot. 3 o'clock in the morning, I might be out, but,
Hey, there you go.
But I'm not scared of nothing, so I really don't care. My dumb ass just don't care. I love you, sweetie.
All right, have a good one. Thank you so much. Appreciate
you too, sweetheart. Hope you feel better.
All right, thank
night.
you. Good night. Awesomeness. Got some excitement on the porch. I was praying for my man, like, but get out of there. She like me. I'm too old, too tired to be out here fucking messing around with you folks. Oh man. But Emma's up next. What's going on, Emma? How you doing?
Hi, James.
How's everything?
Good, I guess. I'm still trying to work on not being boring or anything like that. Betty, can we just say, my God, I love that woman. I love that woman. Anyway, all right, jumping in. Cody almost takes Ari out with a shovel and turns around and has to stop from going off on Ari for hitting the truck. Like, did you see that? It was all like, oh, this is going to be a crime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was his fault. Like, you don't play around with little kids with shovels next to your truck.
Have you never cleaned?
Dumb.
Again, snow-laden state. Like, why don't you have a bobcat, dude, with tracks? Come on.
Right.
Oh my God. Anyway, so, sorry. It kind of reminds me of the parenting, the whole, like, his concern was for the truck being hit. Going back to Cody. And it reminds me of like one of my friend's stories was she was just walking down the hall, a shelf failed, and like an expensive stereo fell on her foot.
Wow.
And and her mom comes marching up, and her first thing was, "Well, is the stereo okay?" Like that's what that kind of. I had the same vibe with that. Like he's like paused, cameras.
Yeah.
Why'd you hit the truck?
You hit the truck. Like she's a little kid with a shovel.
And like, you went dangerously close with an even bigger shovel.
Right.
Oh my God. I was just wondering if anybody else noticed that. Anyway, moving on to I'm glad there's finally some financial honesty from Janelle. That like she's just the bookkeeper. I don't freaking cut the checks, all that stuff. And I really do think Meri should watch her back. Like, because you just go back to the last season with that weird interaction at the picnic table.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Like, I only deserve 2 acres. Like,
Yeah.
that's all she's getting.
Well, because it was Cody looking out for her. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And
it's just a weird situation.
I'm like assuming that this episode was probably like packaged like closer towards the, like she had said at the baby, or not the baby shower, the wedding shower, that it's only been a couple of months like since she had separated, like made the decision to separate from Cody. So it's like, okay, so like the timeline screws me up all the time. Anyway, but I just, yeah, going on to the wedding shower, like as Meri does her little couch interview and she's like, I'm single and blah 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 now and whatever, and I'm not gonna like arrive behind Cody and Robin, and she walks in the door and then Cody and Robin are immediately behind her, and to me I'm thinking, like, did you drive with them?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Anyway, but yeah, like, what do you think about the well, it's been going on for a while. Like, it's been being slid in for a while, but it's just like this constant new narrative that Robin is shy and she, getting very exhausting, like being very exhausting.
Yeah, I don't buy that. Oh, I don't buy that. She's shy. They've been trying to roll that out since she came onto the show. But Robin says stuff when she wants to say stuff, and she's quiet when 9 times out of 10 because she's plotting. Like, she's not shy. She's just quiet.
But even like, do you sense the like her? When someone's like, "I want to be an actor," and you're all like, "Oh shit, no, that's not happening," because it's like very boxy. Every time she says something like that, like, "Oh, I am so shy," blah 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 blah. It's like, I kind of really am not buying that at all.
No.
Anyway,
she's more cunning than shy.
Well, and it's like, are they cunning, or is it just because Cody and Robin are the same equal of financial dumb? And like spending and stuff like that. That now that Janelle's not there to be the bookkeeping guardrails, now they're just like off to the races.
Well, see, I think they're cunning because I think they figured out a long time ago. Because, like I talked about a little bit in the video I shot earlier. Like, I think the way that Robin justifies her owning so much and the wives owning so little is that Cody and Robin were saving their money for the things that they wanted, and they used the wives' money or contribution for the things that they needed, necessities, paying rent, paying bills. And then that saved and conserved their money. So as Janelle is looking at the bank account, she's thinking that, okay, we all contribute equally. We're all I'm using my portion to pay for my stuff. They're using their portion to pay for their responsibilities, so on and so forth. But nay, I think that Robin and Cody were using Janelle and Meri's money to pay for everybody's bills, everybody's mortgages, everybody's car insurances and all that. And then Robin and Cody just set their money aside. It's kind of like if you go out, if you have kids, and your kids, when your kids become adults, I've seen this before. The kids become adults, they go out with their parents. Every time they go out with their parents, no matter where they go or what they order, their parents pick up the check. And so if they have $3,000 in their bank account, they still walk out. They walk out of the restaurant with a full belly and $3,000 still in their bank account. And so I think that's kind of how Cody and Robin ran everything. And that's how they justified to themselves that they're entitled to the things that they have because they use their money on the things that they wanted to use their money for. Because if you listen to what Robin said, she said, I just figured how to budget. I learned to use my money for the things I want. And so I think that's what they were doing.
That whole shit was fucking shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do you believe, because all right, I don't mean to be one of those people like you can judge a book by a cover, but you can't just take one look at Robin and be all like, oh yeah, you're a Wall Street genius, you know?
Right. Well, I don't think she's necessarily brilliant, but I think that she puts herself. She knows enough to put herself in a situation or a position where she can take advantage of the situation. Like we've all had people like that. You probably know people like that at work, like completely incompetent, but somehow they always put themselves in a position where they're always in line for a promotion or a raise, or anytime something gets done well, they're standing right there. Like they had nothing to do with the success of the project, but they're always there, standing by the cake.
And somehow
Celebrate
you
success
get
of the
hauled
project.
into HR.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
what? Anyway, Meri, that stuff. I just don't. I'm with you. I don't buy that. Like Robin shy. It's like I think he's doing the gaslight thing where it's like, all right, we're gonna start it, and then we're gonna keep it going. But it's like it's just not believable at all. Ugh.
Right.
Anyways, I just want to touch base on like I do like agree that it is important for a dad and a future spouse should meet. Like you should know who's having contact with your child.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
To me, the way that I was raised, that's normal.
Right.
And like, on the flip side with chicks who like, who is this chick? She's dating this man, but it's like, but is your kid getting treated right? Like, why are you? Yeah, you're just spinning it anyway. Yeah.
No, I got you. But thanks for calling in. I appreciate you, Emma.
All right.
All right. Have a great night.
Yep.
All right. Bye. Awesomeness. Got Brittany, not Brittany. Then we're going to jump to Brittany, not Brittany, Tanya, Roz, Sassy, Gigi, and Dawn. Okay, we're going to be rolling through, guys. Hey, what's going on, Brittany? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Awesome. I'm here listening to the shenanigans once again.
Right. Trapped.
Right. I can't look away. It's a train wreck.
Right.
And I got to be here until the wheels fall off. But I wanted to piggyback off of what you said earlier about what are the kids going to get from Cody in regards to assets and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And Robin talks so much about how, she loves all these kids, but her actions and also her words, she does contradict herself because she talks so much about how she's trying to leave behind an estate for her children.
Right.
Okay, sure, cool. But if you're taking the bulk of it and you only have 5 kids, like you said, what happens with these other kids? And realistically speaking, Cody will probably pass away before Robin, which means that whatever land Cody may have even considered giving to the kids is just going to go to Robin to make a decision with.
Right.
So most likely she's going to give it to her kids. And do we really think that the kids that both Robin and Cody have pretty much brainwashed into thinking that their other siblings hate them? You really think that they're going to be fair and equitable with the rest of those assets when Robin and Cody pass on? No. And you set it up so that way any sort of reconciliation may not happen.
Mm-hmm.
Add to that, they still talking about this land and they have not got it surveyed yet. Like, what is livable out there? Y'all don't even know like what you can build on. You got a poop pond and some trees.
Right.
Where can you build anything? Like, y'all, they're just on my nerves. And then one last thing. Hold on. I do wish that Christine had said that there was some overlap with her and David, with David and Cody. Because
you want to see that man cry? What?
I do. I want to see him spontaneously combust. It would spark joy, as Marie Kondo says. It really would. It absolutely would. And Robin was just sitting up there because he was talking about, my pretty shy wife. That girl is not shy, and you gonna stop saying that.
Right.
Like, y'all keep using that word, it doesn't mean what you think it means. So we gotta get rid of all that.
Well, let
But
me ask you this. Let me ask you a quick
yes,
question on that. When Cody said that, like, because as soon as Cody said it, he was like, my pretty shy wife. The
Ugh.
first thing that came to my mind was, devil is a lie.
I know you lying.
Devil is a lie. Like, ain't nothing shy about her. You need to stop that lie right there. Cut that in the track. Nip that in the bud.
Ain't nothing. She wasn't shy when she got up and walked to the bathroom and did the
Right.
old bend and snap in front of your face.
Right.
She
Dropping
wasn't shy
shit.
then.
Yeah.
Right.
In church.
In church. The Lord is watching you.
Right.
Wow.
I'm gonna say in church, dropping it like it's hot. Come on now, let's keep it real. She is not shy. She is fine.
Girl, she didn't have anything but debt and audacity.
Right.
And quite frankly, I aspire to be like her one day, because I'm over here being a little bit too demure, a little bit too humble. And clearly, I could have been had $1 million home.
Right. Like, why am I struggling trying to be a good person? When evil pays so well. Like,
like, this should have been me.
Right.
But I was also laughing at Robin when she first saw David, because I know it reminded me of when she was looking at when Cody's friend came with his wife. And you said it, I believe it was you said it in one of your videos, about how Robin was looking at Cody's friend like, oh, this is the real alpha male. Yeah. And she was hating on the wife. And I think when she saw David, that's also what she saw. She was like, oh, Christine got out and got a real man who doesn't have to wear like construction gloves to drive. Like, why does he have all these gloves, James? That's the one thing that be pissing me off, is every time I see him in them damn gloves, I'm just like, why? You're not doing anything.
Well, especially when they sit around talking about murder faces, and this dude keeps showing up with gloves. He's not trying to leave fingerprints. That's what it's about. It's not hard work. He's just not trying to leave no evidence. He watches CSI.
And he's still too dumb to not get caught. So it's just like, you might as well take the gloves off and leave your fingerprints, because I already know that you don't wrap your hair up. You're going to have ramen noodle strands all over the crime scene.
Like, I know who this is.
Right. My money's on Cody.
Right.
Why? Because I've watched him on Sunday night. Like, he's all but confessed.
Right.
Just.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's so unserious, but yes, that is all I had, because I know you gotta get going, and I hope you feel better. I really do.
Thank you.
Yes. Also, I shot you an email.
Awesome. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good night.
You as well. Bye. Take it easy. Thank you. Pretty not pretty in the house. All right. Next up, we got Tanya Kata. What's up, Tanya? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, James?
Doing well.
It's good to see you. I'm sorry you're under the weather. I was a little under the weather last week.
I'm telling you, this, whatever it is, somebody's called it. They said it's going around. I think it was Kathy Ferran. It's going around, and apparently it came around.
It came around. Man, there's so much to unpack with tonight's episode. My God, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. Well, what did you think about Meri and Janelle having their conversation where Janelle's trying to inform Meri of the chicanery that was going on with Cody and this damn Coyote Pass?
I felt like you did earlier when you started this thing. You seemed so upset. I can't believe, every time I think that Meri has moved on and is this, empowered woman, and like she tries to, worthy up this type of person that she's trying to be. And then she says something like that. And it's like, you really believe that these two people have your back?
Right.
She truly believes that Cody's going to when has Cody ever done the right thing?
You mean the guy who made marriage vows and broke the said vows?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
She really believes that Robin is her friend and Cody has her back.
Right, right.
and was suspicious of Janelle.
Yeah, she was looking at Janelle like Janelle was sitting there
Yeah,
lying
like,
on
well,
him.
what do you know? Are you gonna do me wrong? No.
Right.
That's why I'm here.
I'm trying to help your ass out. Like, you listen to what I'm
Oh
saying
my
to you?
God.
We got 2 months to pay this land off. We haven't paid anything on this land. They
Well,
made,
Cody
well, I
will
guess they
do
made
it.
payments, but they haven't paid anything. They haven't paid the land down at all. So we got to
Mm.
do something.
And it seemed like she really believed that Janelle was handling all the finances. Was like what Janelle was just cutting checks to Robin and Cody to buy these art paintings and stuff.
Right, right. Or they just somehow got him. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe there's some people who are just bad with money. Like, it's weird for me because a lot of, well, I always say most, well, it's clear most of the ladies I know are actually very good with money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Almost to the point where some of the ladies I know are better with money than their husbands or
Mm-hmm.
boyfriends. You know, and for Meri to be that, like, I won't say it's weird for me, but it's just kind of off pace for me a little bit. That she just seems so oblivious. Like, I never took Meri. Like, Robin, I would 100% believe that she
Yeah.
had no idea how much money was actually going out and how much money they had to spend and how much money they owe, because she doesn't really worry about finance. She just knows what she wants. But I never really would have put Meri in that category until tonight. You know what I mean? When she made that
Yeah.
statement, I never would have said that, oh, Meri has no idea how money how money works, especially being as though she's so successful financially, you
Yeah.
know.
And when she
So
sat at that table and said, "Okay, y'all aren't going to give me the money. I'm about to go back to the house and make another 40 grand so that I can do what I need to do."
right, right.
I
I'm
think
a,
when it comes to Cody,
excellent
she's
point.
just so Twitter pated by him ever since she met him that she just has no common sense when it comes to him.
Right, right. Well, they say that about like trauma, that if you're traumatized, especially at a very young age, that you like emotionally you don't develop beyond much further beyond the age you were traumatized in.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
and there are certain aspects of Meri's personality where she's a awesome adult, she's a straightforward woman or whatever, forward thinking woman. But when it comes to Cody, it's almost like I see that 19-year-old innocent, naive young lady who married too soon to a man she barely knew.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I agree.
Like
I
she
agree.
looks at
There's
him the
there's
same way.
definitely an arrested development when it comes to Cody
Hmm. Hmm.
with her.
Yeah, and I think that's part of my frustration. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think that's part of my frustration. Like, come on, Meri, let's come on.
Yeah,
You can do it.
wake up, see it.
Don't let them do
Even
this
when
to you.
she even when she was talking to Christine and Christine was like, it's better on the other side. And I agree with some of the people, Christine's got to let people move in the
Right,
time that they move. But when Meri said, "Well, I'm just not on the other side yet. I just don't." Meri, you've been on the other side for almost 12 years. What are you talking
right,
about?
right,
She's acting like they had some intimate relationship up until last week.
right, right. Now, yeah, you're right about that. Because you've been way out. In
Way
fact,
out.
like I said, you've for the entire time that Robin has been in Cody's life,
Yeah.
Robin has been Cody's lady. Robin has been Cody's wife. You were just the lady who just kind of hung around. Like, if anything, their dynamic is actually closer to Meri is Robin's friend who just
Yes.
hangs around Robin's husband.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
That's
more
why
the dynamic.
I don't understand the broken heart and it's going to take a while. What's going to take a while? Like you've had 12 years.
Right, right, right.
I just don't get it. The other thing I found interesting tonight, I feel like I've always felt like Robin was very jealous of Christine. Like very
Mhm.
jealous of Christine. And I feel like she's even jealous of Christine for having moved on and found a a good guy, that she's
Right,
actually happy with. And I feel like Cody kind of knows that. And so when he says stuff like my pretty wife and, you know, David was just looking at Robin and only talking to Robin, I feel like he knows Robin's going to see the talk back and that's just going to gas her up and make her feel good.
right, right. Like, he was trying to get at you too. I couldn't let that
Uh-huh.
happen.
Yeah, yeah. You see, he even thought you looked better than Christine.
Right, right. But see, if he knows anything, he better play that down because, like you
Exactly.
said, old girl might have feelers out.
Exactly.
You know, you done
This
convinced her
whole
that she can't
yeah,
get him.
this whole episode was a mess.
It was a trip. It was a trip. But
Mm-mm.
excellent points. Thank you so much for calling in, Ty. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's good to see you. I hope you feel better.
Thank you. Thank you. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right. All right. Gotta tell you. Oh, before I get too far afield, I got Rise up next and Sassy Experience, then Gigi and Dawn. And I'm going to read some of these super chats. Somebody comes right out the box. Rosalind Davis with 499 super chat. Meri is being spirited towards the kids and the sister wives. Maddie have a Comcast and she have a story. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a podcast. Yeah, she has a podcast. So, yup. Maddie's doing a podcast. I got to check it out. I haven't seen it. I saw that it aired already, but I do want to check it out and see what's going on with it. But yeah, good point. Meri is mean spirited. Wow. Yeah, I think, you know what? I think that Meri was tore up because of the hold on 1 second. I think Meri is tore up because of the she just wasn't suited for polygamy, especially with a man who never made her feel secure in her relationships. So she never really felt secure in her relationships. And then to add wives on top of a relationship where there's already unsteadiness doesn't serve anybody. And so because of that fact, I think she lashed out against the people whom she could lash out to. And this is part of the disagreement that I had with Meri's initial introduction on the show, is that she does come off like a bully because she was hurt. Like most bullies are rooted in pain. Like their actions are rooted from like a painful experience that they've encountered. So as a result, they want to go out and hurt other people, hurt people, that whole thing. So I think Meri was in that position. So I agree with that. Let me give you something. Oh, no. All right. What the heck? Oh, here we go. Raspberry $10 super chat. Super chat. There's a psychological concept called splitting, meaning people such as Cody will put someone on a pedestal one moment, but then put them down, degrade, and lower that person the next moment. I agree with that. Like, I think it's a mixture of splitting, but I also think it's triangulation. Like he's using Robin as a tool to assault and attack the other wives. So he says these mean and hurtful things. And is Cody attracted to Robin? Yes. Is he infatuated with Robin? I could argue yes, that's a possibility. But I think that there's also a mixed component that Cody sees Robin as a way of hurting his other wives, especially wives who he feels like hurt him. So he will lash out at them by saying like, oh, Robin is pretty. She's so smart. She's so intelligent. She's so understanding. This relationship is amazing, as a way to say that you are not. So Robin is pretty. You're not pretty. Robin is fun. You're not fun. Robin is everything that you aren't. And so I think that there's also that concept. So I think it's a matter of all of it comes from a place of manipulation, and it comes from a place of control. And this is what I was saying, that like Cody, as much as they've argued that he was not a part of the he didn't believe in the patriarchy and the controlling nature of that type of relationship. I think he does. I think he absolutely does. It's just that he was able to wear that privileged position in the institutional form of oppression towards the ladies who are in that institution. By just merely being a part of the institution, he received the benefits. He didn't have to be a misogynist. He didn't have to be, say he was adhering to patriarchy. But everything that you are geared to do, the way they were raised, the way they were brought up, the way they were conditioned, the way your expectations work, they all flew and flowed through the concept that you are better and they're your inferiors. And as a result, you receive the benefit of that institutional oppression without actually having to implement that oppressive nature, so you don't have to do anything. The shit's already on automatic, and that's one of the things that I think that Kody Bennett, like not Bennett, well, I guess benefit is a way to say it, but it just sounds too positive. Sorry, my mind is a little cloudy, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But yeah, thank you so much. That's all. Just Jules Jig, $5 super chat. So, but Sabin's jaw is bigger than Superman. Jeez. Why'd you do that? You caught me off guard. I'm supposed to be straight faced when you say mean stuff like that. So Robin's jaw is bigger than Superman, and there is nothing shy about Sabin. But jaw is bigger than Superman. Jeez Louise. Oh, it's jawbreaker. I'm gonna go ahead and give you something. Oh, I'm about to take some cold medicine. My inhibitions or whatever might just drop. I might have to do one of them hot toddies that Betty was talking about. That actually sounds appetizing. I got to figure out if I have anything in the house though. I don't know if I have anything. Negligent 3, $2 super chat. Good analysis of Meri, James. Hurt people. Yeah, absolutely. I see that's the weird thing. Like I see where Negligent's coming from. Like I understand the attraction of Meri, and I don't necessarily think Meri is an evil, mean, nasty person, but I think that she's just in a situation where, you know, she's gonna be like in a defense of herself. She has to lash out to somebody. And that's kind of the thing. And typically, if Kody is like the center of everybody's attention and affection, she can't lash out on him. So who's left? The other OG 3 members, the other kids. And I think that Meri was probably the one. And if we're going to be honest, and I like to be honest on this channel and give a full breath and honest, sometimes I like to, dare I say, bold analysis of the situation. I think Meri was probably more straightforward with her bitterness about the situation. I think the other 2 ladies, Christine and Janelle, may have been way more passive aggressive. Still aggressive, still pissed, still upset, still bitter. But I think that they were way more they had more passive aggressive tendencies to where they might not have come right out and did something mean or nasty or said something rough or wrong, but it's still baked in the cake. You understand what I mean? Like, so I don't think anybody is really, 100% innocent in this situation. And if you came to me and say, James, I have proof positive that Christine or Janelle did XYZ, I probably couldn't argue with it. Oh, I'm going to get to the folks down below. I'll get to that right now. But Negligent 3 gave another one. Let's Negligent 3 with the $2 super chat. Tunnel vision plus Lord Fauntleroy equals control and abuse. Okay. Negligent coming in dropping troop bombs. Better watch yourself. Let's get Negligent a little phone. Thank you so much, Negligent 3. Appreciate you. All right. So next up, we got Rise to the house. What's up, Rise? How you doing? I hear my music. Appreciate you. All right. So next up, we got Rise to the house. What's up, Rise? How you
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm going back with Meri.
Oh, we got a little feedback.
Am I echoing?
Well, I can hear it myself.
Okay. I'm going back. I'm echoing, huh?
Yeah. I can hear the previous because you're kind of on a delay.
Am I echoing?
Well, I can hear it myself.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah.
I'm echoing, huh?
Yeah. I can hear the previous because you're kind of on a delay. Do you hear it?
Because I feel like I'm talking, then. Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah. Do you have the show in the background or somewhere?
No, it's not. I'm gonna hang up and come back.
Okay. All right. I'll bring you right up when you come back. Yeah. Do you have the? All right. So we're gonna rock the sassy experience, and then we'll go to Roz when she comes back in. Hey, Sassy, what's going on?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Doing well, doing well. How's everything?
Good. So first, let me
Awesome.
say, I was agreeing with you on everything. I was just giving a different, not a different perspective, but an added perspective because Meri was very frustrating for me as well. And if she was, one of my girlfriends, family members or whatever, I would have been just like you, like, girl, if you don't get your ass up and let's go. This dude ain't about shit. Why you can't see it? But I get it.
Right.
I have always been a fan of Meri from the beginning, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I'm a fan of underdogs. Like that's my nature. I go for the underdog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it always seemed like they were always willing to throw her under the bus as the mean person, the bully, the this or the that, and everybody else kind of walked away with clean hands. And I could tell almost from the very beginning that Cody played each of the wives against each other.
Right.
And I always say that when it comes down to Christine, the Christine bees do not come from me. This is just my opinion. But I always said Christine was Robin before Robin. And her
Mm-hmm.
problem with Robin was Robin bested her at her game. You always talk about how they basically sold us or tried to sell us this BS of how great polygamy was and
Right.
that, the wives get along or whatever. They weren't even friends. They literally were competitors from day one. Cody talks about the sequence of the marriages, how he brought in Janelle because he was sick of Meri. And
Right.
then when he got sick of Janelle and Meri arguing, he brought in Christine. And then Robin was the answer to the three of them fighting. And so I always give Meri the benefit of the doubt because it always seems like everybody was throwing her under the bus. And then, the fans, as the story progressed, was always embracing Janelle and Christine. And I like Janelle. Don't get me wrong. I like Janelle. But I've always had a problem with Christine because when you said passive aggressive, you nailed it. That sister is very passive aggressive. And the one thing I never understood that I never bought into when it comes to all this crap about Meri, I think how she dealt with the kids was she just didn't play. Y'all ain't fixing to run in and out my house. Sit your ass down, stay in, stay out. I think she was probably a little rougher than the parents, their moms were. And I get it. But I always said this: if she was as abusive, as hateful as me, or as mean, why did Christine and Janelle stay in that situation?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody gives Christine a lot of credit for leaving, and I do as well. But I gotta remember, she didn't leave until she was comfortable. She complained all the time about how she felt her kids didn't get the best of everything like everybody else's children, but she did not leave until she was comfortable. And so you don't get but so many brownie points from me on that because in my opinion, especially considering the fact that you basically at one point in your marriage had to file for food stamps and public assistance to take care of your kids, you could have been left Cody because you wouldn't get nothing from him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing on the Christine situation. As far as tonight with Meri and Janelle, I don't think Meri was being. I don't think she was attacking Janelle. I think she was being naive and dumb, and it was getting on my nerves. I think she's being really naive. I also think part of what we got to remember is she's questioning everybody. Her and Janelle are not friends. They're admitting through the door that they hadn't even seen each other in a year. So we're not friends. We don't get along. Hadn't seen you in a year. I know I got a bad situation over here with Cody and Robin, but do I have a better situation with you? So
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more not so much as she was challenging Janelle, but she's being dumb to a fault and naive to a fault with Cody and Robin. But at the same time, she doesn't know if Janelle is trustworthy because they don't have a friendship. And the last thing I'll say about all of that is when you look at the whole thing, even Janelle shitted herself because ain't no way I'm going to be the bookkeeper, but I'm going to be broke. Now, I know she's saying, well, I wasn't moving money. I was just counting it, but I ain't fixing to be broke. Like, we're not going to get to the end. And I realize oh my gosh, you got all this set up where I get shafted out the deal. No, ma'am, no, sir. So I think in the end, my whole wrap up of it all is we give Meri a hard time, but if we look at it, all three of them were equally as gullible to Cody. They were equally fools to Cody. They didn't get along with one another, and neither one has a better story than the other. Christine was just able, and even the fact that she owned her house, it was really kind of by default. I don't see it was anything special she did. It was just how the money ended up falling out. And that's when she was comfortable enough to leave, when she woke up and said, oh, okay, I'm the one who owns my house. I can leave a little easier than the others. And that's why she makes me mad when she's saying to Janelle and Meri, oh, it's better on the other side. You're not where they are, ma'am.
Right.
And it took you a long, long, long time to get to that other side. You let your baby suffer, out of your own words, for you to get to that other side. So, give them some grace. But in the end, to me, one ain't no better than the other. I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm sorry. One is no better than the other. They all got problems. So now I'm gonna hush and let you give your
Well,
feedback.
I'll say this. I think that you make some good points, some salient points. I will say this. I think that one of the points that you made earlier was that talking about Christine's situation. Like, I agree with you that Christine was in a unique situation because she owned her house and she could walk away with her money clear and set. But if you really pay attention, that wasn't by Christine's hand or planning as much as it was just happenstance of the way things fell out. Because when
Right.
she first purchased her home, Cody's name was on it, and she actually had said during the course of one of the confessionals, she was very excited because that was the first time that her name actually appeared next to Cody's on an official legal document. So she was very proud
Mm-hmm.
of that fact. In fact, she was so proud of that fact that she was actually in distress when he came to her later and said that I'm going to have to take my name off of your house because I want to buy this bigger house with Robin. And that's the only way we can do it, because otherwise he wouldn't qualify with his name on both mortgages for the McMahon.
Right.
So because he did that, that allowed Christine to have her own house. So when she did leave, it did give her a lot of cover. Like, she was able to leave because, like you said, we celebrate Christine as and I think rightly so. Like, she, all of them deserve to be celebrated. All those G3 deserve to be celebrated for leaving a toxic situation. I think that hands down is true. But we also have to keep in mind there are tons and tons of people who every day make the decision to walk away from a toxic relationship, and they are nowhere near have the financial security that any of these women have. They will walk out of a relationship. Somebody today has walked away from a relationship with their kids with nothing but the clothes on their back, and they're sleeping on a couch.
Exactly.
And I think that we have to keep those folks in mind and celebrate those people as well. So I see what you're saying, because it took everybody a long time to leave. And I think a big part of that is because of the institutional pressures that's put on them, the community pressures that's put on them, the family commitment, the idea that you don't want to, like, you raised your kids in a solid family where the father was around, maybe not as involved as some of us would like, but to them, well, at least they know who their daddy is, and at least he has some relationship with them. And I don't want to leave this relationship because I don't know if that's going to continue. I get that.
Right.
I 100%
Right.
get that. So,
So one thing real quick, James, I will challenge you on is you made the comment earlier tonight, and I agree with 110%, is in this platform that they have, as you were talking about Meri, she has a big enough platform to say, hey, don't be stupid like I was. And I've said that about Christine. I think more of her platform should be focused on, talking about getting out sooner, as opposed to, oh, I'm single, I'm free, I'm dating, I'm getting married, and all of that. I think she has a responsibility because she makes it seem like it was so easy, when reality, it took her a very long time. And I think she needs to be talking more about the challenges and the difficulties of leaving, as opposed to painting it like this romantic fairy tale kind of thing. But that's
No,
just
that's
my
fair.
25 cents on it.
No, that's fair play because I agree with that. I agree with that because I think that one of the challenges is that in divorce situations, you're more likely to end up like Meri than you are to end up like Christine. If we're going to be 100%,
Yep.
100% fair,
Yep.
it's more likely that you're going to walk away from this marriage and you're going to, especially in a new dating market, if you've been off the market for 30 plus years and you're coming back into the dating market, and it doesn't even have to be 30 years, it could be 3 months, 3 years. You're off the market, you're out of practice. It's a new, like, back in the day when she was dating Cody, she met Cody through the church. They have computer stuff now, the internet, the cat, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different world. Like, it's not go to the bar, meet somebody at church or at the park. It's get on Tinder or whatever, Bumble or whatever website is out there, Match or whatever, and you're trying to locate and find people. And instead of it being somebody in your town, you're now looking globally for partners or paramours. So it's a different world entirely. So just the idea of you having to navigate this newness and then having to navigate a completely different and foreign world is going to be a challenge. But what I always say is that it's better to be by yourself and happy than to be with somebody and miserable. So if
Listen, you better say a word.
Right. If you ain't getting what you need out of that relationship, and especially if you're being mistreated in that relationship, you are better off by yourself because you got to love you before you can love anybody else. And you got to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else. So I don't want to ever put it out there that, this is easy. Like, I think this is extremely difficult. Leaving somebody, especially, you might leave. I'm going crazy. I apologize. But you might leave this situation, but you know what you have in this failing marriage. And that could be more comforting than the fear of going into the unknown of something that you're not sure about.
And I think that was Meri's albatross for a long time, unfortunately for her. Yeah.
I agree.
But get you a hot toddy. I hope you feel better. Listen, I'm gonna tell you real quick. If you can't get a quick hot toddy, get you the hot apple cider and some Fireball and pour in it. Yes, sir. You be good.
Okay.
You be good.
Well, like I said to Betty, I won't care.
Exactly. And get a little big vapor rub like grandma used to do, rub it on your chest and bundle up. Feel better, my friend. Have a good night.
You take it easy. Have a great
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. We got Gigi and Dawn. Roz, if you want to call in, please call back. I saw that you had dropped out. If you want to call back in, please call back in. I'll put you right up, okay? Just before I get to the phone lines again, let me just make sure of something. Okay, we are good. And let me check. Oh, I have one thing to check. Okay, yeah. Okay, I just have one more other thing to check. It's always like one more thing. I might have to hire a production team. Get J Baby up in there. Audrey, did I miss a good or typical episode? A little bit of both. I'm gonna be honest. The way they're running it, because I think they're gonna run this season extra long this time around. So they're kind of putting a lot of filler in with some good meat. So it's like a fast food burger. Okay, I'll say it like that. It's like a fast food burger. Maybe it's got like 20% ground beef, the rest of it's filler. So the rest of it's soybean. But yeah, it was a pretty decent episode. Like I said, it had me worked up. So if you can check it out, check it out. Like I said, it's pretty wild. Garlic in the soup. I like garlic. Garlic is good. Thank you so much for that. I just missed it. Luna Solar. Okay. Let me jump over, get the next couple callers in. Gigi, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey there. I hope you are feeling better. It seems like just nothing but cooties is going around everywhere.
The Kremlin's got me.
Yeah. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the conversation between Robin and Cody and Christine and David. it just,
Mm-hmm.
I just, with Robin and Cody having narcissistic tendencies, plus this culture, I think it's just become a recipe for disaster for them. They can't have a normal conversation. Everything with them is a competition. Life should not be a competition. If you make it one, you're never going to be happy. Robin had that whole apple and orange speech, but then she's logging how much time Cody's spending with the other women. It's just so much about vanity and materialism too. You know, Robin says, well, I asked Cody before we got here, you know, what if Christine has a good looking hunk? And it's like, everybody likes different things. That's why we have Coke and Pepsi still.
Right.
I mean, I would much rather have a big juicy brain than some pecs.
Right.
You know, to me, David is so much more attractive. You know, he's gray, he's bald, you know, and Cody's just, you know, worried about, you know, covering up his hair and coloring it. And Cody will go on like, oh, I'm this entrepreneur. And David's like, well, I've done drywall for 30 years. He doesn't have to be glamorous.
Right.
Cody has to take somebody to Mariposa. David's taking somebody to the Little Mermaid. But he's a real person who's lived a real life. I mean, it's just crazy. And Cody asks him, you know, well, how old's your oldest kid? Well, how old's your oldest grandkid? They aren't real questions. It's just like he's trying to stack up things.
Right.
Have you held my twins yet? You know, and David, to me, he tried to have a normal conversation as far he says, you know, oh yeah, having grandkids is always better. And I mean, that's the old saying. Everybody says that. You can give them back when they cry, this, that, and the other. And Cody, oh, I was 7-year-old and she's better than all my grandkids still.
Right.
I mean, and he just, oh, well, you got here and the temperature's higher now. And I have 8 feet of snow. I mean, it just... They are always going to be their own downfall and make themselves miserable. And I think the whole thing where he says, my pretty shy wife, to me, that really melds in with the whole keep sweet, pray and obey thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he reiterates that so much about Robin being pretty, Robin being shy. He's trying to convince himself, I think.
Yeah, it's insane. Well, because I think that's the point too, is that there's so much comparison. And it's funny because weren't they the ones, kind of as you mentioned earlier, weren't they the ones who always said that comparison is the thief of all joy? Like that was the big thing. Like, don't compare yourselves, because if you compare relationships, then that'll destroy you and the relationship will be over. And it'll make you, it leads to misery. Then the first thing they do when they meet David, like you said, is that they just want to talk about, well, you have this, well, I have that, and it's all fish stories, like what they used to call fish tales when I was a kid.
Yep.
Like somebody come in, they tell one story, and then the next person got to tell like a bigger story, and it's got to be better with more stuff. Like all of a sudden, before everything is said and done, you know, the one kid has ninjas in his family, and his granddad is Superman. Like it's just insanity. So, and I do appreciate the one point that you made about David being a regular guy, where Cody is trying to be like Mr. High Five Finance and Mr. Businessman, and I have all kinds of businesses, and I take care of business, and I can make $300 an hour. And David's like, yeah, I hang drywall for a living. Been doing that since the 90s. Like, what? Or I think he said 90s, might have said 80s. But you know what I mean? So it's just
crazy. Right. I had a friend that I always said her thing was she always has a better one in the attic.
No matter what you're going through, I went through the same thing and it was worse for me. Yeah, I agree with you. But there's just the idea of like to me that speaks more of confidence. Like the fact that you can be yourself. Like I don't have to try to be somebody I'm not. This is who I am, and it is what it is. So take it or leave it. You know, I did drywall for a living. That's how I put my kids through school. That's how I took care of my family. That's how I'm taking care. I'm gonna be taking care of your ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
She loves it.
Yeah, and just because can't he just love Robin and think she's the sexy and most wonderful thing without everyone else having to think the same thing about her?
Right.
It just
You should think your wife is sexy.
Mhm.
You should think your wife is all that. That's a good on you thing. But I don't have to think your wife is attractive. You should, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. You're right.
I just think that their narcissistic tendencies and add the culture that they're in, and it's just creating a monster in those two, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But I did like like I said, I like the answers. I like the questions. I like the fact that Cody was a little uncomfortable. This is the first time like Cody actually had a real romantic rival.
Mhm.
And we've got to see that on tape. Because if you think about it, we've been watching these women have these romantic rivalries for the last 19 seasons. This is the first time Cody's been in the hot seat to where he had to deal with somebody who is in a relation with one of the wives, and one of the wives shows interest in him. Well, I guess maybe with the exception of the catfish incident, but we just kind of heard about that when it was over. We didn't really get to see it unfold. So this is the first time we actually get to see Cody on the hot seat, and I'm here for it.
Yep. I just be happy with yourself. Quit worrying about everybody else. Quit trying to compete.
Yeah, exactly. Just make you miserable. Yeah, just make you miserable. But thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you, Gigi.
I hope you feel better. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Awesome phone call. Let me jump over to Roz real quick. But before I do, Roz, I'm pulling you up next. But before I do, I had a super chat from Karen Joseph, $5 super chat. Why does Christine get all the motherhood props, but she sent away her daughters because they didn't get along? You know what? It's kind of weird because I do remember she sent Isabel to go stay with Meri. Supposedly, Meri had a little space for her in her house. And then she supposedly had McKelty stay with Robin to help Robin with her kids. So I think that's kind of built in, but I don't know how much of that actually stuck beyond the show. So maybe that's why she doesn't catch as much heat, but it's a good point. Good point. Bring it up. Like I said, I'm in a position where if somebody makes a good point, even about the OG3, gotta acknowledge that point. It's a good point. Yeah, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect around here. So everybody can get it. That's the way we do it. Everybody can get it. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we're gonna bring Roz up. Let me click. I gotta do some clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking. All right, we're gonna bring Roz up. Roz, what's going on?
Okay. My
Awesome.
hello. Can you hear me this time?
Yeah,
Okay.
you sound great.
All right. So Meri has, to me. Okay, I'm going back to the picnic table. I know she's saying now that I made a lot of mistakes.
Right.
Going back to divorcing Cody, because I think that was her most biggest mistake. I don't care if she wasn't getting along with him for 50 years. I wouldn't have divorced him just for him to adopt those kids.
Right.
That's just me. And then her best friend had to tell her that Cody and Robin had a discussion about that, and they that he would not stay with her if that happens. The same thing happens to her. And I'm thinking, are these all three of these women that naive? Because every time I watch the show, I'm thinking, darn ladies, come on. I mean, these women are in their 50s. These are not 21-year-olds.
Right.
And they're still that naive. I don't get it. And that's including Christine. Christine is acting like a 21-year-old. And I like Christine. And I think the only reason I like Christine because she took care of the kids. But Robin, she hasn't done nothing for the family, and she thinks that she's supposed to get her part. Well, what did you do? I I don't know. I think Cody's gonna crash and burn with Robin, and I hope it's on the show. That's all I have to say. I
So I
hope it's
hope
on
they
the show.
catch it on tape. Film at
I
11. You know.
ooh, I hope it's on the show. I hope it happens, and I can see it because it's gonna happen soon.
Yeah, especially that money start drying up the wrong way.
You think?
You
I mean,
know,
they bought almost a $2 million house. I think
2.1.
he's
Yeah.
I think he's gonna sell was that thing Cody that land, and I think he's gonna give Janelle and Meri pennies on the dollar,
Mhm.
and him and Robin's gonna walk away
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's a reason. I mean, Janelle was on a show the other day, and her whole story has changed again, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Really, girl? Come on. I mean, she's now. Cody was a good father. You just lost your son. Is this a storyline happening here again? I don't
Right.
know. I'm trying to get it, but I know you're sick. Um, I I just had to get that little bit out. But
No,
watching them three is a handful.
yeah. Yeah. They will drive you crazy because, like, I think that a big part of the tie-in. People say, "Well, why you get so worked up about it?" It's just that, like, I think part of the show, maybe by its nature, it tugs on your sense of right and wrong, or at least
Right.
for me. Like, it just doesn't, like, it's just so unfair and it's so unjust that the way that the whole system was set up from the very beginning, where I could see it was so geared and engineered towards his needs, his
Right.
desires, and it was there. Like, these ladies, whether they agree with it or not, institutional wise, your purpose is to serve your
Him.
man.
Hmm.
Your kid's purpose is you're there for his happiness. That's it. And we could say, well, in my family, I try to do things a little different. It's nice that you give that permission, but it's not built into the system that they have these same rights and privileges. It's just built into your interpretation of the family and the way you execute things that allow for that. And to me, it just seems unjust. Like, I want a relationship where I'm not giving you the right to have dignity, self-pride, and to be yourself. I want you to already have those things, and I want that to be part of my relationship with whoever I'm in a relationship with. I don't want to give you permission to have these things, because if I give you the permission to have them, if I give you that freedom, then that gives me authority to take that freedom away. And that's what we were watching when he was sitting there proclaiming that he's going to reinstitute polygamy now. I mean, the fact that he thinks that he could just snap his fingers and make it a polygamous relationship tells me that it was always a polygamous, or not polygamous relationship, a patriarchal relationship. That tells me that it was always a patriarchal relationship. He just never enforced the rules.
Right.
Now he's making the decision he's going to enforce the rules now. So now you're in the same position as the rest of the women down there at Warren Jeff's camp.
Exactly.
Just
And
have
you know what? You know what I find out too? That I know they have come a long way, but do you think that me or you? Oh, well, I'm African American. Do you think that me or you would be able to go into their religion and marry a husband like him?
well, I couldn't marry a husband like
No,
that.
I wouldn't marry. I wouldn't marry a husband like him. I think they probably would kill me and bury me somewhere, and I'll be gone. But I don't know. I think he kept those women locked up, and I don't even think they was able to even associate with other females or anybody. You notice, like with Christine, she was around. She started hanging out with Isabel um, neighbor. Isabel's friends' mothers, and that was her first time being around girlfriends. I mean, they didn't seem like they had any friends. Only friends they had were the kids. You know,
Right.
it was just terrible. I mean, I'm just happy they're all out, and I hope that Meri start becoming a better person, being nice, play nice. Because those little sarcastic remarks when Christine was getting the tattoo wasn't necessary. Play nice.
Right.
I just,
Right.
but that's it.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Roz.
All right, have a nice one.
All right, you as well. You as well.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, we had one more person in, and I was actually about to go to you. Just call back in. I'll hook you right up. So, we had one from oh, here we go, Dawn. Hey, Dawn, what's going on?
Hey, how are y'all?
Doing well, doing well.
Good. I just wanted to add like a couple of things.
Sure. Oh shit, wait, Dawn. Hello.
Talking about when Janelle and Meri were talking about the land, the Coyote Pass land. You know, I've done my homework because I've been watching since like day one.
Okay.
And if you actually go through the deed to Coyote Pass, you'll find out that Coyote Pass they can't build the 4 individual homes like they're telling everybody. When you look at that deed, the only thing that they can build is something commercial, which makes me think that Cody had this planned all along to kind of tie up their money, and then him and Robin to basically do whatever they did to make it to where the wives just left, so Cody can. So they were hoping that Cody would still look good to everybody, in my opinion, and because it just gets me how Christine was able to get it to where Cody just kind of like bought her out of her using Coyote Pass, and then Meri and Janelle's money is still tied up in that, and so I think he's just going to take the land. They're going to end up with nothing, but that's what he wanted in the beginning, because on the deed to Coyote Pass it states that you can only build something commercial there. Even if you pay it off, if they build something commercial, the old owners can come and take it back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen the paperwork. I'd love to see the paperwork. If you could send it to me or send me a link, I'd appreciate it.
I don't personally have it, but I've seen it from other people who have actually gotten it. And if you actually look through it, it states that. So I don't understand what why they did that in the first place, unless it was just for Cody to tie up their money. And that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, because I think that's part of it too, is that like even with restrictions or sans restrictions, like say if somehow they were able to apply and have the restrictions lifted, I think ultimately the plan was for him to be able to get the land. Like I'd said, like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, I had a video where I talked about Cody and Robin stealing the land from the wives, and I still stand on that. Like I think that everything they're doing, that makes sense to me. But it also makes sense to me that if he was somehow able, because Christine, in order to get her to move to Arizona, because he needed her money for the show, and the show might have very well been canceled. You start peeling wives off early on. There might have been a fear that if Christine didn't move from Vegas to Arizona, they might lose the show. So Cody needed her to move to Arizona, so he allowed for her to purchase a home because she insisted on buying a house in Arizona. The other wives, Robin, he rented her a big house, and he was probably looking around for a big house for them to purchase. You tie up the wives' money in Coyote Pass, like you said, and prevent them from purchasing a home in Arizona. And that could, that gives them access to more money, because if they purchased a home, like they put out down payments for each one of the wives and they all purchased a home, then that might limit Cody's spending ability, because that would cut down on the amount of money that would be available. So I think that's an extreme possibility. Even when Cody asked the wives to purchase home, like he tries to get Janelle to buy a house, or more to the point, try to get Janelle to buy Christine's house.
Mm-hmm.
Then he just wanted to do that because he wanted to acquire Christine's house, and that was a way for him to use, as Janelle even said, for him to use Janelle's buying power so that he could acquire Christine's house, because that would have been his house. That wouldn't have been Janelle's house.
Right, exactly.
You know
And
what I
I
mean?
just think that I think he did that for a reason, and that was their plan, him and Robin's plan from, day one. And then as far as Meri, if you look at Meri, I mean, I actually really feel sorry for her because she stayed in for like 30 years. And for 10 years of that, she was by herself all the time. And, he said that she wasn't loyal, but, other than that catfishing or whatever that they think that Robin was behind, the only reason I think that Meri even gave that a second thought was because she was so neglected. She just wanted to hear that somebody cared for her,
Right.
Right. And so that's why she got involved in that,
Right.
which I think Cody made it. I think, Robin may have been involved in it, and Cody made it a bigger deal than it had to be because, anything to make her look bad.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, it was the back end justification.
yeah.
So he gets he mistreats her. He basically abandons her. She falls in with the catfish, and then all of a sudden he gets to turn around and say, "Yeah, the reason why I wasn't really paying attention to you and I abandoned you is because I always knew that you were going to abandon me for somebody else, like the catfish person that you abandoned." You know what I mean? Like, so it's a back end way for you to get that justification. But I mean, I think that she, like, I won't say she was right for stepping outside of her relationship, but I understand why she did it. Like, she had her reasons. Like, it wasn't that she all of a sudden decided one day that she, the guy at the gym was looking extra cute with his little, tank top or string top bikini, or, string top tank or whatever, showing off some extra glisten in the muscle room. And all of a sudden she decided to step out of a relationship. That's not what happened. He set the stage for her to be able to do it. And so the weird part is that he set the table and the environment for her to cheat. He pulled the chair out for her and it was mad because she sat down.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean? So it's like you did it. Like you basically strolled her out to the arms of another man, pushed her to the arms of another man. And then now you're mad because she actually made that decision.
You took the bait, yeah.
Yeah, you did it. So I mean,
I think
I don't blame her for that. No, go ahead.
I think in his and Robin's own mind, they kind of up to happen, and he knew that Christine was fed up and about to leave anyway. So that takes care of Meri and Christine, and so with Janelle, when it came to her, he knew that her weakness was her children. So then he said that about the boys and Janelle, that was it for her, So I think it was all basically kind of like a setup. And, it just keeps going on because you keep seeing, Cody is really kind of soaking it in because, they had that big house. They sold that for a bigger house. And so, yeah, it's going exactly his way.
And I think that burns up the fans too. The fact that it's going his way. The fact that he played so dastardly and he's still winning. Like, that just annoys the hell out of me.
I mean, I just hope that, in a way, I think Christine, since she feels like she's the only one that can legally sue and get something, I think she's going to go in, and if it goes south with Meri and Janelle, I think Christine's going to make sure that she gets enough to where, yeah, they'll get their justice too.
Right. Well, because I think that the two ladies, Meri and Janelle, they have to do it for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I think that there is a point where, it would be cool if Christine could, help them out. But in order for it to really stick, They have to do it. It's almost like like when your kid comes home and they say, "Oh, little Tommy at school is bullying me," or Jenny at school is bullying me.
Mm-hmm.
I can go in and I can force it to stop. I can, you will stop saying this to my kid, or have the teacher do it. But ultimately, your child has to learn to stand up for themselves, because the only reason why it's stopping is because that other person is involved. You need them to stop because you tell them to stop, not
Mm-hmm.
because the teacher told them, and not because the principal told them or your parent told them. And in the same vein, Cody needs, in order for them to be able to have a productive relationship moving forward, both with Meri and Janelle, they have to stand up for themselves and establish their boundaries for themselves, saying that, Cody, if you do this, then I'm gonna put you through it. Like, I'm not playing with you. This is not a game. We can laugh, we can joke, but if you cross this line, all bets are off, and I'll see you in the courthouse. They
Yeah.
have to do that for themselves. And I think it'll help to creating those boundaries will help not only their relationships, but it could possibly help the relationship with their kids. Now, Cody and Robin are Cody and Robin, and I don't know how much that'll actually take, in fairness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to prescribe something that I know isn't going to work, because in order for that to work, they actually have to care about losing a relationship. It has to be important to them. And I don't know if losing these relationships are that important to them.
No, I think Janelle right now where she's at, she needs to since she already got the clearance, I think she needs to take a ride with Meri and go down and get her what is that? Get her marriage annulment or whatever, just to piss
Yeah.
Cody off. I mean, she may not have to get one, but it'd be just what Cody needed.
They get that release. That's what you're talking
Oh
about, get that
yeah,
release.
I would just do it just to piss him off.
Right. Just to see
Honestly.
his face. So you
Oh,
get another phone call from the church leader. Yeah, you abandoned another one.
exactly. I actually think that in the beginning they should have Christine, Meri, and Janelle should have all rode up there together. But that's all I have to say for tonight. But I hope you get to feeling better.
No, I appreciate the phone call, and thank you for the well wish. Appreciate the phone call
And
and the
thank
conversation.
you. And thank you so much.
All right. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. Thank you. Awesome, guys. This is amazing conversations. I appreciate it. Yeah, just as let me make sure I get through. Negative 3. Yeah, so negative 3 with the $2 super chat. Not to judge a religion, but it's a pyramid scheme. I'm not gonna judge, but I'm just gonna tell it what it is. Yeah, it's that whole thing. Like, I don't want to come down on faiths or beliefs or religions either. I'm kind of where negative 3 is, but the whole way, the practice of it, or at least the way it's perceived by me, by what I'm seeing from the outside, that's what it looks like. It just looks like you are just throwing people at the bottom, and you're supposed to be on top, and everybody is supposed to serve you. Like, I couldn't function like that. Like, there's let me give negative 3 a little something before I go into that little story time. But there was the old opposition thing. If you stand behind me, I'll protect you. If you stand beside me, I'll respect you. But if you stand opposed to me, then I'll run you over, basically. And I think that the way this system is set up, it's designed for failure, not just failure of the ladies who are involved or the children who are involved. It's also designed for the failure of the men. And I say that because clearly it's oppressive to the women and the children, clearly. But for the guys, how do you find partners or life partners that you can respect if everybody who you're supposed to be in these relationships with are, view you as a resource, say, the whole, hypergamy thing. They view you as a resource. They view you as a way for you to provide for their life and their lifestyle. How do you see a partner if, they're not your equals? They're subordinate to you and you stand alone. The problem when you are that type of leader or that type of person and you stand alone, then you have nobody whom you can confide in. You have nobody who you can share your life experiences with, your fears, your hopes, your aspirations with. And if you don't have that, then for me, there's no point in you having a partner. What's the point of having a partner if you can't be honest with that person or share with that person because you don't respect that person because that person isn't your equal? And and I say that even in light of so many people in manosphere groups and red pill groups that they call it, red pill manosphere groups, that see it as, the man is like the leader and the women are the followers and all that. I think that you're cheating yourself out of positive relationships if you only see yourself as the man with no peers, the man with no equals. If you're a person of no equals and a person of nobody who's a contemporary, then it's a lonely life. You're living a lonely life. But that's my two. Yeah, guys, it was a very interesting conversation. I appreciate everybody calling in and with the well wishes. Hopefully I can kick whatever this is. Make sure you join us tomorrow night. I'll be back with Sarah from Reality Squad at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be going over this episode. And I'm sure we're going to have a whole bunch of other things to say. I got to rewatch it because I have to go through. And there's certain things that I want to pull out because I want to talk and continue the conversation about a lot of the things that we see in these types of relationships, because I have a lot of thoughts, especially as we start talking about the time frame that Christine is dating David, with introducing her children and being that non-custodial parent who is faced with the reality that your former or your former lover, your ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife is now dating somebody else. And how do you move forward with that point? Because at some point, kind of what we were saying before about Cody having to put his feelings aside because he has to deal with his children, have to be there for his kids. So I understand it's heartbreaking that your family broke up and is no longer looking the same. But at some point, you have to help to heal your children and be there for your kids. In light of the fact that your ex, in this case, Christine, is dating somebody else, you have to make yourself available for your kids. And the last thing I'll say on that, especially if Christine is dating somebody now, even, before it was important that you were a part of your kid's life. But when other people start to get involved with your kid's life, you have to make it even more of an issue, make it more pressing that you're involved with your kid's life. You have to be more present. So that if something does go wrong at that house, not saying that David Woolley is capable or he's that person or whatever the case may be, I'm not, no accusations leveled here. But if he is or was that type of person, you want to make sure that you're, as a non-custodial parent, as the person who doesn't get to see your kids every day and tuck them in every night, you want to make sure that your kids understand that they can pick up the damn phone and call you anytime something doesn't feel right, he ain't acting right, he's not doing right, or he says the wrong thing. You want to make sure that you can pick up the phone and you can call me and I'm on my way. If you call me up and say, Dad, I need you, I'm in the car and I'm on my way there to pick you up, and we can talk about whatever it is after I picked you up. And that's the situation I think that as Cody, the non-custodial parent of Truly, he should be putting himself in. And again, I'm not saying that that's something that's happening at the house or whatever, but you always want to make it clear to your kids, especially in a place of a separation or a divorce or whatever, that you may not be getting along with that custodial parent, that your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-husband, your ex-wife. You might not get along with them. But your relationship with that person has nothing to do with your relationship with your kids. And I am always present for you. So if you ever need me, you ever want, you just want to talk. You just want to talk to me because you miss me and you tired of dealing with him, you pick up the phone and you can call me. And that's the type of thing that I would encourage Cody to do. Like, I understand like the fear of, you know, especially the way they did Robin's ex, basically cut him out of the life. So I understand that y'all scared for that reason. But I'm just saying that anytime that your ex is getting, your significant other, former significant other is getting involved with another person, you want to be around because, you know, it's weird. I won't say it's weird now. It's always been weird. Like it's one of the mature gut crowd. You know, it kind of drives me crazy when we say, you know, in my day, you know, things were always better and now things are crazy. No, things have always been crazy. It's just that we're more aware of it now. And now that we're more aware of it, we have to take steps to make sure that we're ever present and ever vigilant and making sure that these young ones are okay. Save the babies. So we want to make sure that we're present for them. So that's my 2. Let me just check one thing real quick before I sign out. Oh, Kathy, you're not feeling well? Make sure you take care of yourself, Kathy. You know, we had some suggestions for some toddies and some things, you know, some vinegar, apple cider vinegar and Fireball. Like I said, you might not feel 100%, but you definitely won't care, especially if you do too hot toddies. You're too hot toddies and you're going to take a naughty. You're going to be nodding off. So make sure you take care of yourselves. That's my 2. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure, if you're on the after show, leave your comments down below so I can check them out. I do read through them. We will be back tomorrow night for another show. I want to give everybody, especially Lizzie B, who's been holding it down for me. I appreciate you, Lizzie. Make sure that you guys give her a round of applause. I might have to do some memberships or whatever, because I want to get some like little emojis so we can throw some emojis up for folks. So some dubs up in the chat for some peoples, especially the callers. Thanks to the callers for calling in. Excellent conversations tonight. The chat, as always, keeping everything super cool, super chill, making sure it's a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And to give you that big thank you, let me give you a little something, something. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, that's my 2. I appreciate you guys giving your take. And look, this is an open conversation place. I appreciate people who may not see things my way or even disagree with something I say. I'm open and willing to have those conversations because I think that that's important, that you guys give your take just as much as me giving my take. That's why the show is called My Take on Reality. I appreciate you guys calling in. I appreciate you guys keeping it chill in the chat. Thank you, Lizzie B, Kathy, everybody, Brittany, not Brittany, everybody who called in, Betsy, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Make sure you have an even better morning and a most fantastic week. Check me out for videos. I will be dropping them all week. So make sure you check those out. Thank you guys so much. I'm James. That's My Take on Reality. And I'm out.
I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.